fragments as you can.
The power of darkness is getting stronger. Could it be the soul stone of Azrael's four disciples? Stronger. Could it be the soul stone of Azrael's four disciples? Spectres around the soul stone. Be careful when treading near.
Everyone, you must work together to gather as many light fragments as you can.
The evil spirits possessing the power of darkness are gathering around the soul stone.
Alright, what's up everyone? How are we doing today? What up, Grixis? There we are. Let me move this a little bit. Okay. I need to squeeze out some credit for this mission real quick. This one's really good. This just opened up, I think, like yesterday. We hit the milestone. And it's a co-op, so you don't really need to perform. You can let everyone else do the work. It does help if you contribute, you can get to the higher tiers. But, I don't know, we like barely eked out tier 2 yesterday. It doesn't look like we're going to get it today, so it doesn't really matter. But as long as we get some credit, we will get a special resistance medal. And I think 40 of these gets us a purple item. So that's pretty sick. So all we do is we just show up at the last second and parasitically leech off of everyone else's hard work. Like a good gamer. And then we get our payout. Also, there was no PvP event, so I looked at it and I was like, what else are we gonna do? I do really like talisman delivery. Because you can go to talisman delivery and just do one section of it and then bounce. So that's probably what I should have done, but I didn't get on fast enough. So here we are. So we're at least gonna get our special resistance medal. What up, Summer? How you doing? Can you trade Lucent player to player? Not directly. I mean, you can trade via the market at a 20% tax, 22%. I imagine that is not looked upon kindly by the devs, though. I'd be pretty careful about that. It could easily be seen as a form of RMT. Like, why would you want to give another player Lucent? What benefit would that bring you? You know what I mean? I think it would look suspicious, so I'd be careful about trying to transfer Lucent to each other through the market. Oh, maybe we will hit tier 2. What happened? Somebody just went and did a huge turn-in. Okay, I'll help. We got 30 seconds left. I'll help. I'll do my part. I'll turn in my 28 total. Ooh, less material. That's from my contract. Another reason I really like this mission is because I always take the Shattered Temple contracts. It's my favorite zone to contract in. So, we double dip. We double dip. Not gonna make it, boys. Oh, that's so close. 2 seconds. I don't actually know what happens. You get 1 medal either way, so. Yeah, I don't know what happens if you get the next tier. Maybe some more guild XP or something. What a bonfire. Send out my little homies. Ooh, I've got unread mail. Dude, getting mail in this game hits so good. Why didn't I get a medal? Probably because you didn't do anything, bro. Would you just show up and watch? At least pretend to help like I did. What was I doing? Oh yeah, mail. Here's a little something. Thanks for keeping that secret between us. Castleton Inn owner. Did I miss something? That's fine. I'm apparently blackmailing the Castleton, the proprietor of the Castleton Inn. How many coins did I just get from that? 120. Sick. Monka S? Should I have not shown that on stream? Will I... Have I gone back on my agreement with the Castleton Inn owner? By exposing him on television? Whoops. I don't think I signed an NDA or anything. Been playing this game like crazy. It's pretty good, huh? Yeah, it's pretty good, man. And that's the thing is like I definitely have my complaints about this version of the game. But knowing all the content that's still yet to even come, it's like I have so much optimism for this game's future. I really hope they do like a combat polishing update. They did a really good job with the revamp of just making combat a lot more interesting. Now if they could just make it feel less clunky, which honestly I feel like the feel part is even easier than the balancing, because a lot of the upgrades are like fairly straightforward standard stuff that, you know, existed in World of Warcraft 20 years ago, so it shouldn't be that hard to implement into this game to make it feel more fluid. Need Greatsword fixed? What do you mean by fixed? Nerfed? Feels bad in large scale? Well, Greatsword Dagger feels bad in large scale. I don't know if Greatsword SNS feels bad in large scale. Aren't you playing Greatsword Crossbow? Don't you just run in and crossbow bomb? What do you need Greatsword AoE for? Apparently with Tevens we can bomb in large scale. Had some weird bug with charged deathblow where I get stuck. Bonfire, are you using the setting where you have to hold the charge down? Because that shit bugs out all the time. I don't even know how it's like still in the game. It's so buggy. I highly recommend you go with the tap instead of the holds. Tap to charge, tap to release. You can also just let it auto release, which is what I usually do. Because then we don't have to worry about ping or anything. Yeah, toggle charge skills off. Big off. I don't know why Lazy Peon says to turn it on. Definitely turn it off. What percent again to get a purple to +9 with 9 blue? Is it 6 and 30%? It's 7 and 30%. We need to re-examine the math on that. I'm hearing now that it's been rebalanced and that it doesn't actually make a big impact if you transfer right away. But I'm not seeing where that rebalancing would come from, because as far as I can tell, it's still costs the same to upgrade. So unless they like literally change the percentages at the high levels and made them easier, and then like made the low levels harder, I don't see how that could be the case. But we need to check. They might have done something like that, so we need to double check. So if it's like a big inconvenience for you to get it to 7.3 right now, then you might not need to worry about it as much. But I don't know. I didn't find it that easy to just slam my purple to 7.3. Or I didn't find it that difficult, so I just did it. Skill shots in the game are kind of jank. Sometimes they shoot directly into my camera because of trees and terrain that I can't see. Yeah. I wonder if that's less likely to happen in classic mode. What up, Zelabel? What's the best way to acquire salts? Two good ways right now to get salts that I know of. Well, I don't know about good. I should say decent. The first one is Amatoy Expeditions. So the mission that I'm spamming right now gives salts. And it kind of depends on which Amatoys you have, because you really want to do Amatoy missions where you get the bonus. Can I even show you this right now? Okay, I cannot show you the other missions. But this one right here, Urstella Fields, gives salt. It's really good. So it gives salt, gold, and thread, which is a really good combination of things, because the salt is for cooking, the gold is for accessory crafting, like if I want to make an accessory lithograph, and then the thread is for armor lithograph. So there's a lot of different stuff that I can get here. So I really like Urstella Fields. Plus I have a lot of the wheat bonus Amatoys. But if you have like, I don't even know what to call this. Shore? Yeah, okay, I guess it's called shore. So I have a lot of plains. If you have a lot of shore Amatoys, then if you send them here, you sure will get a lot of loot. I don't know if this gives salt though. But you just click around and find missions that give salt, and then try to find the salt missions that you have the most green up arrows for. And then the other way to get salt is by farming chestations, which is the dopest localization I've ever seen. What am I looking for? Do I have any salt? I need some salt that I can click on, but I don't have any. But you go to Daybreak Shore. If you click on salt and say how to acquire, it'll tell you where to get it. And there's a level 7 area, which I imagine kind of sucks, but you could try it. I mean, it's easy mobs. Maybe you'll get a lot of salt. Maybe you'll get more from killing faster. I don't know. Haven't tested it. But the other place is a level 40 area called Daybreak Shore, and these mobs drop salt as well. You can check. Actually, we can just check here. We can click on this and then go to Monster Info, and then we can see who drops salt. The Iron Chestation. That's such a good name. I can't get over how. These are actually really good to farm for multiple reasons. You get the handguards. This Ring of Precision is the best green ring in the game. So even now, after the game's been out for a week, this is still selling really well. The traits on this, if you get like skill damage or max health, are still selling really well. And they cost 1 trait extraction stones. That's really good value for Lucent farm. And you get the salt, and you get green contracts. So yeah, these Iron Chestations, really good. Easy level 40 farm. And then, I don't know if the other stuff has salt. Oh yeah, some of this other stuff has salt too. So you can just kind of click through here and get an idea. But it looks like pretty much everything at Daybreak Shore drops salt. And then you might get some blues and greens as well. But definitely target the Iron Chestations. They got the juice. Is this a pre-recorded video? No, I'm just answering a question, bro. Just wait 2 seconds and I'll get to your I'll get to your chat. Books are books. What if I pre-recorded myself saying that, knowing that someone was gonna... I only got to the first city of this and I gave up on Xbox. Yeah, Chris, I did the same thing the first time I played. I got to level 10 and I was like, this is the most boring shit I've ever seen in my life. And then I logged off. But then I tried the game again. I forced myself to get level 50. Then I was like, that was still pretty boring, but then the post-level 50 stuff started to be fun. And then I played in Korea, where they updated the combat, and they added all the new dungeons, and I was like, oh shit, wait, this is actually really good. It's completely different now. So, if you stick with it, I think you will enjoy it. But yeah, that early game can be pretty stale. I agree. Does your offhand weapon stat matter? For example, I mostly use greatsword skills on my hotbar, only use 3 SNS skills. Do I need purple SNS as well? You do. Yeah, you do. For a couple reasons. You don't need to... How can I say this? So the damage that you get upgrading your weapon to the next tier is very significant. If you're not using any... if you're not using like any SNS damage skills, like you're using 3 SNS skills, if those are all like defensive or like mobility skills that don't do a lot of damage, then you can stick with a blue and just trade out your blue, because it's going to be a lot cheaper to trade out the blue. But in most cases, you're going to want to rush to a purple weapon to get the extra raw damage that the purple weapon gives. You might be an exception if you're literally like only using the SNS for defense and utility. You might not need that damage. And you might value more just getting traits so that your main hand can smack harder. But ultimately, yeah, I think it's a good idea to focus on getting your weapon to the next tier of rarity so that it will do more damage. Your 11 noob tips is one of the best guides I've come across from the 50 plus I've watched. Thank you for being good at explaining things. Thank you, Wes. I appreciate that. I will be making even more information-dense videos soon. Trying to bump damage in PvP while still maintaining PvE solo QOL for Abyssals. I think staff or bow is better. Currently bow dagger, but bow damage seems super mid in arenas. No, bow dagger is actually pretty good in arenas. Flash arrow is kind of insane. You have the long range bind. You can remove CC from teammates. Probably the toughest team we fought. Well, maybe not the toughest. One of the toughest teams we fought in arena got completely carried by a bow dagger player. He was really good at his perfect blocks and keeping distance and like doing enough damage to make us feel like he was a threat, but then being a huge pain in the ass for us to actually kill. If you... Well, it'll probably be impossible to find it in the VOD, but this was a few days ago we did this, and it was really difficult to deal with him. But I think Staff Dagger is fine as well. I personally prefer to play the staff. I feel like I'm moving around more with the staff, whereas the bow has a lot more skills where you need to like stay still and be more of a turret. But in terms of like raw power, I think they're both pretty good. Bow's definitely got some really strong stuff right now. I'm not getting any purple bags, you guys. So unlucky. Learning going Expo staff for bombing. Expo staff. You're going to get melted, but that is a fun build. It's actually a intensely good PvE build, like a super underrated PvE build. But yeah, you're going to get your ass cooked in large scale. No smoke screen, no stealth. You're going to have some really good setup from the rest of your team. What should I do in between those leveling stops in the main campaign? Exploration Codex. So it should give you a little recommendation over here. It should say, like, go do contracts, which you shouldn't do unless you're completely capped out somehow. You should save those till 49. But if you press J, you can kind of, like, look through these. You have to go to the area and get the waypoint first before these unlock, but yeah, this stuff will it should appear like in the bottom right when you're in an area, but you can also just press J and look for something that sounds easy and will give you some good rewards. There's some leveling guides out there that will tell you like exactly which ones are the most efficient. I wouldn't know. I just did all of them. I wasn't in a huge hurry to get 50. I liked getting all the extra materials from those side quests, so I just kind of did everything. But yeah, just pick an area that's around your level and go do the codex, or go do like a couple of the codex missions, and then that should get you close to getting back in the main story again. Is the game pay to win? A little bit. What's up, QS? KJHDQSMLKD How you doing? What should I do in between those leveling? I already answered that. Moro has plants who give him prepped questions. That's right. Dude, you wouldn't believe how many YouTube alt accounts I have commenting nice things on my own videos. Did they censor this game? What do you mean? Like, were the boobs bigger in Korea? I don't think so. The chat can be pretty heavy-handed. There's like random stuff that's censored in chat for no reason. Like EPH. In Korea, we couldn't say LMAO. That was censored. What else couldn't we say? There were just like some regular words you couldn't say. Maybe they were slurs in Russian or something, I don't know. I think they fixed a lot of that in NA, though. I think we can say LMAO now. What's your value in using a purple trait versus blue trait to upgrade a purple trait? Did the math, it should be like 11 times cheaper blue to make it worth. What's your value in using a purple trait versus blue trait to upgrade a purple trait? It depends on the piece. Yeah, it might be 11 times cheaper. 11 times sounds like a lot. Probably not 11 times, but it is very often cheaper to level your purple traits with blues, especially if you understand the blessing system and how to utilize that correctly, because you've got a 10% chance to... Am I just getting stuck on rocks here? You've got a 10% chance using a blue trait to level up a purple trait. And so if the purple trait costs 500, but the blue trait costs 50, you're way better off going with the blue trait, because on average, you're going to hit 1 out of 10 of those. So right there, you already break even. But then on top of that, you get the blessing from every time you fail. And you can then use that blessing as a resource to force one of the blue traits to go through guaranteed. And so really, if the purple trait is 500 and the blue trait is like 80, that's still pretty good. The blue one is still pretty good because of the value of that blessing. Don't even bother. Too late, bro. We already did the whole thing. Had fun testing it. Expo Greatsword feels better for PvE. Better than Staff Expo? I don't know, dude. I played Staff Expo for like a week in KR, and in PvE, it fucking slaps, dude. You're literally like a minigun. It feels so good. In PvP, however, I got eaten alive. So that's why I ended up switching to Dagger. Have alt accounts to post mean things on your YouTube? I know, Zio. I can tell from the things they say. Found you on stream on YouTube. Thank God. I hate Twitch. Yeah. You can avoid the ads on YouTube, which doesn't make me any money, but makes it better to watch. I would actually disable the ads on YouTube or on Twitch if I could. I streamed for like 7 years with no ads, and they finally forced me to have ads. So it is what it is. Any advice for what to do after I got all blue gear and want to transition into endgame? I upgraded everything, and what's left is actually getting purple gear. So you already fully traded out your blues? You're either gaming or you're swiping. I mean, if you're swiping, just start swiping for purples. What's holding you back? If you're gaming, then a lot of those purples are going to come from dimensional co-op dungeons. So you need to start checking these and seeing which purples you have and start targeting those every day with your dungeon runs. And then, you know, if you get into a guild, start running field bosses. Try to convince your guild to give you that loot, which probably won't happen. But yeah, most of it is going to come from those dimensional dungeons or from abyssal grinding. And a lot of good purple gear is going to be showing up in the abyssal dungeons that unlock, depending on if you're on an early server or not. They're not too much further away. If you're on an early server, they're still like a week away. But if you're on or if you're on a regular server, they're still like a week away. But if you're on an early server, then they're only a couple days away. So we have, let's see, 21 hours. So this is tomorrow, which unlocks some boonstones, and then the next day, Sanctum of Desire. The day after that, Saradoma. The day after that, Celia's 5 and 6. All of those are high-end abyssal dungeons. So there's going to be a bunch of new loot coming from those. You can start saving your tokens for that. Again, depending on which server you're on. But yeah, the main thing is just getting those traits unlocked on your key pieces. Well, getting the pieces to begin with, but then getting those key traits unlocked. You know if a skill passive that has a % base damage procs that can proc from your second weapon, does it use the base damage of the weapons that procking, or is it always the base damage of the skill's weapon? Okay, hold on. Do you know if a skill passive that has a % base damage procs that can proc from your second weapon? Now, you gotta give me an example. I'm not following. Which skill are you asking about in particular? What would you say are the best things to buy in the Xena Star Shop? We were just looking at this yesterday, actually, so I can answer that. The contracts right here. These thick 10x contracts, this is the best thing to buy by far. Following that, Solent is good if you need it. You probably don't need this too much right now, so you can hold off. The trade extraction stones and the trade conversion stones, these are very good. I would buy these out when you can. And then the more expensive resistance contracts, these are good too. So resist contracts, stones, more contracts, Solent, and then Solent. That's probably the order that I'm going to do it. The rest of this stuff, we'll see. You can think of each star fragment as one lucent. So just think about that. Like, is 10 trade extraction stones worth 50 lucent? And it should be. At least for now. There's still a lot of things you can sell and get. That's only a 5-to-1 ratio. You can probably get like a 10-to-1 ratio most of the time, or even a 20-to-1 ratio right now if you get some good drops. That might not always be the case, but that's how you can think about it right now. What's the weapons that you, with the best gameplays from what you tested? Staff Dagger is really fun. It's really good. It's really strong. It feels good. I liked it a lot. I will say that in very large fights, like in sieges, I would prefer to have Staff Bow. But Staff Dagger, I played in KR. I never really had any complaints. I was squishy, but I had the dagger to help me escape and stay alive. And that felt pretty good in all content. I don't think it's a top tier PvE build. Like if you're really trying to pump, I don't think the damage is great. Although I am told that it has been recently improved in KR, but still it's probably not gonna compare to like a staff bow PvE spec. But it's good enough. It was good enough for me to get through the content that I was playing. Get through all T2s, and look at this adorable rabbit. What up, Zio? Good enough to push challenge dungeons into the 15s or 20s. I didn't push challenge dungeons all the way to the end. I'm a little worried Staff Dagger might fall off at like very high-end challenge dungeons, but I don't know. We'll probably have crazy gear by the time those even release, so might not be an issue. And then SNS Greatsword feels really good. Dagger Greatsword, I don't know. I don't think it feels quite as good as SNS Greatsword, but they fulfill different roles, so I'm sticking with the Dagger Greatsword for now. You didn't trait your blues? Yeah, don't be in a hurry to go to purple then, dude. It's going to be way easier for you to trait your blues than to trait your purples. Trading your purples is like 8 times harder than trading your blues. So, yeah, trade out those blues. You can have like a couple purples, especially weapons. Purple weapons are really good, even if you can't afford the traits. But most of your gear right now should probably be blue with like purple weapons, and then like maybe like 1 purple accessory or 1 purple armor. You shouldn't have a lot of purples on right now, unless you're a whale. It's not just bossing that's good. I have like 16k Abyssal. Yeah, no, Abyssal's really good for getting blues and purples. Really, really good. You can do Shadow Crypt right now. There's a purple greatsword that drops in there. There's a purple cape that's super valuable that drops in there. And I think a couple other things. And then lots of blues. And that'll just get better as more Abyssal dungeons open up. Level 40 in full green. Level 6 gear. If I get a random blue armor, should I immediately transfer my green into it? If the green is not traded and you don't plan on trading it, then yes, you should just go right to the blue. However, if you've already got good traits on that green, so like the example I gave in my video was this bracelet of Conquest. This has got max skill damage resistant and max health, and I just like the stats on this. So like I'm not in a huge hurry to upgrade this to a blue until I find some blue traits. I probably shouldn't have this many greens on this, but this is mainly just me being lazy and holding on to a lot of stuff and waiting for prices to go down because we're not currently going up against much competition in PvP. But yeah, a few of these greens I will hold on to a while, even after I've mostly swapped to blues. There's a couple of these, particularly the accessories, that I'll probably hold on to for a bit. Got a purple bow of resistance as a drop, but I don't use bow. What should I do with it? If it has a good trait, then you extract that trait. So if it has hit chance or crit chance or heavy hits, those all sell pretty well. So you can extract those and then check the market, get an idea for what that is worth, and then price it accordingly. I don't really like any of these. Ooh, okay, next one. If it does not have a good trait, then you could litho it, although lithoing weapons is really expensive right now. It's probably not worth lithoing the Bow of Resistance. You'd have to check the price, but my guess is that... Are you on an early server or are you on a regular server? Excuse me. Press the button. Auction house has been cooked for like the last 3 days. Okay, so... I should have typed bow. There's too much resistance gear. So Heroic Longbow of the Resistance lithograph is 4,000. Now, the problem with that is that you will need 10 precious rubrics to litho it. And those are 190 each. So you're spending 2K on something that, and you're going to sell it for 4K. And after tax, you're only going to bring home like 3.1K. So you're only getting 1,100 lucents, and you'd have to spend 50 enchanted ink. Your enchanted ink is a very limited resource, and so 1,100 lucent for 50 enchanted ink is probably not a good enough ratio. So if you're on a server where that bow is selling for like 8K, then that would be worth it. But at 4K, it's probably not worth it. And all you can really do is extract the trait, or if the trait is junk, then... Unfortunately, the item is kind of just junk. You can toss it in the lithograph book. And that's about it. Or you can salvage it. So, kind of sucks, but... Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. Example is Mother's Nature Protest for Expo, procs with staff like Ice Spear skill. Yes, Mother's Nature Protest will proc on any projectile. That's why staff crossbow is such a fun build. Because... you can do, what's it called? The Frenzy Fireball, the thing that shoots 10 fireballs. That'll all shoot additional crossbow projectiles. And you're literally just a machine gun. It's a sick PvE build. Got the 50 of a purple weapon, haven't added it, any traits or whatever. Did I screw myself? Don't understand adding traits yet. No, pretty much, Jared, pretty much no one has traits on their purple weapons right now. Except for people who are swiping or people who are grinding like super hard and already know what they're doing. So don't worry about that. Most of the player base is not going to have a traded purple weapon until like a month from now. It's going to take a second for the prices to go down and for people to figure out what they're doing. So if you just have a regular old purple weapon with a base trait, that's what I'm using. That's not the end of the world. I would focus on getting yourself some real nice blue armor and accessories and trait those. And then just chill with a untraded purple weapon for a while until the prices come down. And then you can start working on your weapon. Definitely max it out the level though. Get that thing to level 9. Don't wait on that. Any downsides when you try Expo Staff? Just survivability, Grixis. You just get popped in PvP. You have no stealth. You have no mobility. I mean, you've got Frost Smokescreen, but that's kind of it. Like it's really hard to escape if somebody gets on you. Yes, actually, mana was an issue. Mana definitely was an issue with that build because Mother Nature's Protest slurps up a lot of mana. That kind of went away as I got gear, but that was like KR gear. So I was like 4K gear score before I stopped having mana issue. Your mana's probably gonna suffer for a while. Yeah, you're gonna rely on that evocation skill. I forget what it's called, but you're definitely gonna rely on that, and you might even have to get like. You'll have to run mana potions. Mana potions will help a lot. But you might even have to get like a bow user in your group to feed you mana to really make it viable. And if you're playing without a bow user, without Nature's Blessing, then you might struggle with mana for a while until you get like Giga geared. What do you think of Expo Dagger? It's like the best build in the game right now. You can't go wrong with Expo Dagger. It's a little sweaty. It's very... You do that. That's how you play it. So... You have to have fast fingies. But it's so good, dude. It's good in PvE, it's good in PvP. It's good at farming. It's just good at everything. Would you consider bow dagger slightly better than staff dagger in terms of being viable in all contents? I think they're about the same. I think they're about the same. Bow has some crazy good skills. Staff has some crazy good skills. I think that if you want like some more utility and support, you go with the bow. Like if you want some more survivability and you know, like CC removal and some of that stuff, I think bow has some really good tools. And flash arrow is just so good. Flash arrow is just like one of the best skills in the whole game right now. And then if you want to be a little more mobile, I think you go staff. That's probably the biggest like difference that I can think of. They're both just really good builds though, at least in PvP. I don't think they're totally optimal for PvE, but they're good enough, especially for the content we have now. They're more than good enough. But they just won't be like totally min-maxed for PvE if that's your goal in the future. They're both really solid PvP builds though, and like B+ in PvE probably. Fully traded blues will get you to around 3k gear score, way easier than purples. Yeah. Expo recovers mana. Well, Mother Nature's Blessing with staff, at least when I was playing it in KR, it burned my mana real quick. If I had that toggled on, because you don't do the 6-second buff. You change it to the toggle. You take the skill specialization that makes it like a permanent toggle, and you keep it on, and it cooks your mana pretty good. But it also is fantastic. What is a good PvP counter for SNS Greatsword? There isn't one. It is currently not counterable. It is the best build. I mean, you talking about like in a 1v1 scenario or what? Like in groups, you really can't do anything about SNS Greatsword. They kind of just do whatever they want. You can wait until their counter barrier falls off, and then like if you're like an Expo Dagger, you can melt them. But yeah, it's a pretty oppressive build right now. All right, let me figure out where we're going. We got bosses popping up right now. Go.
Talus.
Talus.
Then Cherno.
think the premium pass is worth it?
I might actually switch to staff. Tier 2.
Yeah, but you don't have to buy it with real money. Remember that. Like when you ask worth, like, are you asking me if it's worth $10? I mean, up to you. But is it worth 500 Lucent? Yeah, for sure. You don't have to spend the $10 though. You can just get the Lucent from playing the game. So keep that in mind. But yeah, I would drop 500 Lucent on the battle pass for sure, and I would drop 500 on the premium pass for all the extra stones and stuff. I don't litho stuff unless it's at least 1k maybe. Yeah, I'm lithoing... Right now, I'm lithoing armor and accessories for around like 1,500 to 2k. If it's less than that, I won't spend ink on it. Weapons, though, because of how expensive the rubrics are, weapons, they gotta be like 6k. They gotta be really high to be worth lithoing. What do you think should be base damage average be ideally for a level 30 Greatsword Dagger? Base damage for level 30? I don't know, bro. I was level 30 for like 6 minutes. You're gonna be level 31 by the time I read this message. I wouldn't worry too much about your gear at level 30. Once you get through the main story quest, you can start worrying about your gear. For now, you just want to get to 50. A lot of things are going to open up once you hit 50. Has human damage bonus trait. Your purple weapon? Yeah, that's fine. You can re-roll. If it's like a good purple, if it's your BIS purple, your best in slot purple, then you can use trait conversion stones on it. So you spend 100 stones and you roll that, and you have a 65% chance of getting something good. So, I might do that with my Morokais. I'm sitting on a completely worthless trait on my Morokais. And if I go to trade conversion, I can spend 100 stones. I have a 23% chance to get hit, 23% chance to get crit, 17% chance to get heavy attack. So total of 65% chance to get something good, 35% chance to get something completely worthless. So if you think that's like your tier 1 purple, then go ahead and roll the trait. If you think you're going to switch to another purple in like a week, then just hold off. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to stick with this or if I'm going to swap to Magnus. That's why I haven't rolled it yet. Is there anything I should do for Abyssal tokens except dungeons, contracts, Amatoy? Those are pretty much the big ones. I'm trying to think. Do you get them from events? Do these guys give Abyssal contracts? I don't even know. No, it doesn't look like it. But yeah, I mean, make sure you're doing your Amatoy every hour. Make sure you're keeping up with your contracts. Dimensionals. Mystic keys. Make sure you're running your Mystic keys every day. From the contract merchant. That's a mandatory everyday 5 out of 5 buyout. Those Mystic keys. You run those and you'll get trait stones and you'll get Abyssal tokens. And then sometimes they pop Mystic portals and you get even more stuff. And you get to go on a little scavenger hunt. There's shenanigans of transferring your blue into blue that has super cheap traits. Transferring your blue into a blue that has super cheap traits.
So like if you have a blue weapon, the guy I was asking earlier, that wasn't traded. Say it's like level 9, you can look on the auction house and find a like shitty blue that nobody wants that has like dirt cheap traits. You trade it out and transfer your blues levels into that, and then you transfer that traded out blue into your purple, and you'll get a lot of blessing. So,
oh, you're saying like get a bunch of like mana regen and shit and deck out a worthless piece and then just feed it into your...
Yep. The amount of blessing you can get for the solvent cost, or the losing cost, is very low.
Yeah, so you would not transfer a green in that case. You would just hold off and level up a blue.
The situation the guy was mentioning, he like had a purple weapon, he was debating moving up, but he didn't have any trades, and he was like, I don't know.
You'd have to like really plan ahead for that though, right? Because you would have to have... You would have to have not leveled up your blue piece. You would have to have not leveled up or transferred your blue piece. And then you start with a brand new blue piece, you transfer the junk blue piece into it for all the blessing, and then you level it up and then you trade it.
Yeah, basically kind of. And you could do it's
Yeah.
more valuable when you're going from blue to purple to do that, because you'll get a shit ton of purple blessing.
That's real sweaty, but
guarantee a really good trade.
that does make sense what he's saying. I don't know if that's like something you want to rush into as a new player unless you fully understand all of that. But yeah, that does make sense. That could potentially save you a lot of resources.
I never intended to sit on blue because I knew I was going to swipe, so I knew I could go to purple right away, and I'd saved so much money on heavy attack by doing that.
By just pumping a bunch of blessing into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like really advanced though. That's hard to teach to someone who's new.
Yeah, I guess so.
But yeah, if you're trying to get sweaty, then doing what Zio just suggested is there's probably a way to save a lot of resources doing that if you really know the market. Are there any viable build to max out resists? I don't think a lot of people are building resists right now. You could probably focus on a resist. Like Staff has a passive that increases your silence resist. So that plus getting silence resist on your gear. Like there's some accessories where there might only be... I'm going to die right now because I didn't get the thing. I wasn't paying attention. I was hoping he would die, honestly. Oh, did I survive it? Okay, word. I don't know what just happened.
You can resist it.
I don't have like any magic evasion.
You rolled a 100, who knows?
Huh. Okay.
Wait, is that
Someone got
us?
Talus?
Is that us?
That is...
No, it's not us.
Not I was gonna say it doesn't sound like us.
I didn't think it was us either.
Where are we going next?
Chair now.
Oh, something went up. Okay.
PvP.
Excuse me. There we go. To work on gearing before or after 50.
Guild, they said.
You can do a little bit before 50 if you want. I wouldn't worry about gearing too much. I would just gather up materials, max everything out. So like when you say work on gearing, I wouldn't stress about finding pieces. I would upgrade your gear though. I would definitely, whatever gear you have equipped, I would level it all up. But I wouldn't worry about finding new gear before you're 50 because you'll get 50 soon enough. I was going to add a caveat to that, but now I can't remember what I was going to say. Dude, this server, these people like don't even fight back. We're going to be transferring again tomorrow, I think. We're waiting for some of the bigger servers to open up so we can try to transfer there. What's up, dude? Boink. Boink, boink. Oh, all right. They like just run around. They like don't even try to hit you. I don't know. Oh, I know what the caveat was. The caveat was green accessories. If you're still wearing blue accessories, or not blue, if you're still wearing gray accessories and you're leveling up, craft some green ones. Because you should have some green lithographs in your inventory. I don't remember exactly when you get them, but I know somewhere in the main story quest you get green accessory lithographs. You want to craft green accessories and not have gray ones. What up, Rylock? Good to see you. Long time Moreland fam from the BDO days. Hell yeah, brother. Welcome back. Getting bombarded with questions and keeping up. I'm doing my best. What do you think about great sword crossbow? I think it's kind of a cool build, man. I think that if you're in a real sweaty guilds, they will probably tell you that it's not meta, but I don't think that should hold you back. I think it's one of the more like, I don't know, I just think it's one of the cooler builds out there right now. Probably has a lot of PvE potential too. But we have like one token greatsword crossbow guy in Ethereum, and he does well. So I don't know why people poo-poo that build so much. I definitely think it has potential. Maybe it's just hard to get it right. Staff is more mobile, but higher mana regen and heavy attack when stationary. Think you can dot them? Tanks? You can, but they're still going to kill you before you kill them. Greatsword, sword and sword, or greatsword, sword and shield is kind of just the strongest build in almost every content right now. I mean, depending on what your goal is. Luckily, you won't really be in one-on-ones in this game, hardly ever. So I don't know if you need to worry about the fact that they're kind of unkillable in 1v1s. Guys, I'm a rock. Okay. No one's even killing the boss. Everyone's just running around farming players. What's the best PvE healer weapon with wand? Bow. I would go bow if you want to be like a pure healer. You won't even be a pure healer. You can still dish out some damage as well. But if you want to have the most potential healing, wand/bow. Get magma. I don't know, dude. Magma doesn't have 187 hit on it. Although I probably can get 160 trait hit on Magna for cheaper than I can get like anything on Mordekai's. So I probably will swap to Magna. But I haven't committed yet. I'm just waiting for prices to go down. I'm such in a like not hurry right now. I don't know. I feel like I'm probably gonna go straight from green to purple with a few of these pieces because I'm just leveling up so like lazily. There's just until we start getting good fights, it's like there's just no rush. Might as well just like let people catch up. I deleted the message I didn't get the chance to read from Notice. How's it been? Hey, what's up, dude? Is that actually potion in front of you? Yeah, potion's in my static. Yeah, I messaged you. I was asking for. I'm trying to put something together, and I needed like a data dump of all the items in the game. I was gonna ask if you had something like that, but someone else sent me one, so that's why I deleted it. I didn't realize it was still gonna ping you. My bad. I needed a Google sheet with every item in the game at max level, and the guy from Questlog hooked it up. So it was very nice of him. But if you want to build a tool for the database, boy, do I have an idea for you. I'm putting together something on Google Sheets that's gonna be a real banger. It's gonna be very popular. Little gear finder tool. Is the BP worth getting? Yes, but like I said earlier, I don't know if you were here. You don't have to spend money on it. You can get the battle pass with Lucent, and you can earn Lucent for free. You don't have to actually spend money on it. So if you want to save the $10, or if you're just mad and you don't want to give them money, which is fair, then you can just sell some stuff in game and get the Lucent and then buy the battle pass. What a bolt. Siege mass PvP time? No, not on this server. This is the most PvP we're gonna get, is 20 randos running around unorganized. We were on the streamer server, and then we were fighting them too much, and they didn't like it. So we left. They were like, why are you guys so mean? And to be fair, this guild is kind of toxic. So we left, and now they're having more fun without us, because we're a bunch of virgins and bullies. So we're waiting for some of the other bigger servers to open up, and we're going to transfer. But it's today it's going to be pretty dead. We're just going to be PvEing. This game meta locked, as in, do I have to build according to the meta in order to scale with other players? It's the least... There's a meta in every game, right? There's a meta in every game. This is probably the least meta locked game I've played in a while. There's a few builds that I would say are just like totally out of meta, but not many. Like 90% of the weapon combos, you can make them work even if they're not meta. Now, if you're in a sweaty guild, you may not be able to convince them to accept your builds, but I think as far as like getting the build to actually work, if you're playing with people who aren't like neckbeards, almost every weapon combo is viable in some setting. Do the keys impact rewards? Area you do the keys impacts rewards. No, you can do them anywhere. In fact, sometimes it's better to do them in low-level areas, Sidekick, because they are not as farmed out. Like, I always look for them in Shattered Temple when I'm doing my contracts, but there's like a gazillion people in Shattered Contracts, or in Shattered Temple. If you just run around like, what's a good one? Like just big flat areas like Raging Wilds. If you just run around here, you'll see a lot of globes, or where else? Like Starlight Observatory, this area, the Goblin Fields. If you just like run around here, you can see a lot of them usually. So, but I try to find them while I'm doing contracts.
Wait, the rewards aren't different?
No, that was false information. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, I sniffed that one out right away. As soon as somebody said that, I was like, yeah, let's go test that one. That sounds fake.
Even the big portals?
Even the big it's all the same loot table.
I thought that might be the case.
Yep. There's no reason why it wouldn't be. I mean, it would be bad design if they were different. It would literally just be another noob trap, which I guess this game does have a lot of, but that is not one of them.
That's like the most valuable content in the game, was trait guaranteed.
Sick of hopping. The waitlist has yet to get to level 10. Yeah, Ked, we're all sick of hopping. I think some people might leave the guild over it, but it is what it is. What's the point of doing PvP at the boss? Do you get anything? Yeah, you get all the gear. if you zerg people off the boss, then you get to keep all the loot to yourself. I don't know what to do after I reach 50. Any tips? Contracts. Here, let's go do some right now. Because I've been lazy with mine, letting them stockpile. I need to do a few more. But yeah. So go to Pure Light Temple, Pure Light Tower. You don't have to go here, but this is my favorite spot. And just start banging these out. This is going to give you weapon mastery. It's going to give you resources. It's going to give you abyssal tokens. Everything you need to be happy and successful in life. And you don't want to let them max out. So if you already have like 50 or 60, you want to get those done so that you can start regenerating 10 a day. Because if they max out, they won't regenerate. Enjoying yourself. TNL seems to be the most default MMO in some time. It's default in some ways, yeah, but I am enjoying myself. And I also played the Korean version, so I know what updates we're going to get in the future. And there's really good updates in KR that are on the way. How do I get Lucent for the Battle Pass? The main two ways you're going to get Lucent in this game is from trait extraction and lithographs. So you can get, for trait extraction, you need trait extraction stones. The most straightforward way to get that is going to be from the contract coin merchant. So those contracts that we're doing right now, you can spend those coins to get trait extraction stones, and you can extract a trait from your gear, and then you can sell that on the market. You're going to have to kind of just learn the market and figure out which traits are worth money and which ones aren't. But once you understand the market, then you can make money that way. The other way is lithographs. For lithographs, you need enchanted ink and some other resources, but enchanted ink is the main bottleneck. You can also get that from the contract coin merchant. You can also get both of these things with ornate coins, but I would buy them from the contract merchant first. And the lithograph will enable you to sell the whole item. So the trait extraction just rips the trait out of the item and destroys it. So I would be selling melee evasion on this hood. I wouldn't be selling the whole item. But if you get a purple drop and you want to sell the entire item, like this Great Sword of the Banshee here, I could click on this and then click this lithograph button, and then I can turn it into a precious lithograph, and then I can sell this on the market. This is a little bit harder to, I mean, you just kind of have to like know the market. You kind of just have to start browsing and seeing what things are selling for and searching for items. For lithographs, you're only going to do that with purples. But for trade extraction, you can do that with green, blue, purple. They all have different ratios. So the greens won't sell for as much, but they also don't cost as much to extract. So you'll be extracting things at all levels, but you're only going to lithograph the purples. And that's how you make money. Or you pull out your credit card. Really enjoyed the main story quest presentation being like Guild Wars 2. Summary audio at the end is 10 out of 10. Yeah, I don't know if Korea had that summary audio. Or maybe I just didn't speak Korean. But yeah, that's nice in English. Only gripe I had was male English voices not fitting to the characters. My favorite English voice acting line in this game is in Death's Abyss, where you have this like 8-foot tall armored Giga Chad, and when he pops his mechanic, the Korean one is like, "Oh," you know, and the English one is like, "Ha, I'm gonna get you." It's a little jarring when you first hear it. How long am I gonna stream? A few hours, like 4 hours, something like that. I can't stay on long today, but probably do a longer one tomorrow. How important is bow wand PvP? Super important. Bow wand is crazy important in PvP. It's like one of the most important large-scale builds. It's really good in 3v3 arena. It's good in all settings. It's the top healer builds, for sure. Is this guy named Xylitol? Okay. Interesting. Naming your character like Vitamin D. Shout out to Vitamin D. Heard about Greatsword and Dagger and SS Wand. Bow Wand is way more important than Greatsword Dagger, bro. Greatsword Dagger is like the assassin single target builds. Bow Wand has way more of an impact in large scale than Greatsword Dagger does. Unless it's like a godly Greatsword Dagger who knows exactly who to assassinate. Like if you assassinate the enemy shot caller, that's probably pretty good. But usually enemy shot callers are like cockroach shield builds that are really hard to assassinate. So yeah, Bow Wand is very important. If no one has said this today, I love you. Oh, thank you, Success. Sorry we're server hopping so much, dude. How do I turn red ore into something usable? Go to the weapon crafter in Stoneguard. And you can upgrade it. You can turn that into weapon growth stones if you need them. You can also upgrade the ore into higher tier ore at a 5-to-1. And then you can make the higher growth stones if you need those. Just hit 50 contracts without realizing you can get the blessing pouch and the contract itself. Yeah, the pouch is really good. At this point, I don't really need ore that much. So I'm really just doing like one contract and refreshing, and fishing for that pouch as hard as I can. Can you unlock level 50 floors in Silius at the moment? No. That'll be in like 4 days on an early server or like a week and a half from now on the regular servers. There is Korean summary audio. Oh, maybe I just didn't know the language. Or to spend abyssal tokens early on. Ant Nest. Ant Nest is fucking pog, dude. Very easy to solo. You can group too, though. Go here next to the Ant Nest waypoint. That's a really good name for that waypoint. And then go all the way to the bottom room. And it has acid ants, soldier ants, and charging ants. And all three of those are really good for different reasons. So the soldier ant drops Cloak of Accuracy. And if you get skill damage resistance or max health on this thing, then you extract it and you sell it. Maybe even debuff. Debuff resistance might also be worth selling. A lot of good, cheap, a lot of good money you can make off this thing. Extracting it. It's 1 stone to extract. Easy money. The charging ant drops the Bracelet of Conquests. Same thing. Some cheap bracelet traits. People really like those, so you can extract those and sell them. Or you can use them on your gear if you need that. And then, hello? Help? The last one is the Acid Ant. He drops the Elusive Hexweaver pants, which are the pants that I'm going to be building out pretty soon, actually. And this is just a very strong piece that a lot of people want, so the traits for that are also very valuable. So all three of those mobs are good to farm, and they're really efficient. They only take like 5 tokens each or something, or maybe 10. But you can grind down there for a long time and like barely spend any tokens. So that would be my recommendation early on. And then if you can get a group for Shadow Crypt, it's really good, but you need to be, you know, you need to have some gear. It's not the easiest thing, but in a group it's not bad. How to level up skill fast. You'll get skill mastery mainly from contracts and abyssal dungeon grinding. There's some food you can pop too. There's skill mastery food. If you do cooking, you can eat that and you'll get more. I personally think you're better off doing the sullen food though.
And they change the number to a higher number, and then they list it. Sometimes it's actually still listing for 10 lucent.
Ooh. Unlucky.
Oh, maybe that's why I only got back to 10 lucent.
I almost had an item post for 10 lucent. I had caught it at the last second.
Like it was lagging. I just did collect all, and it just gave me 10 lucent. And I was like, that seems a little strange. strange. I don't remember anything being able to be loosened. I wonder.
So you removed me as a friend, different server? Yeah, it wasn't personal. Got noob trapped. What can I say? It happens. We all got noob trapped at one point or another in this game. Extremely good belt from 2F Wizards and Siliveth as well. I hated grinding Siliveth. It is a really good belt, but bro, I did so many laps around that place and I didn't get shit. I didn't even get the green drop. I was killing the Wizards and the Assassins because the Assassins have, I don't even know. They have like a glove or something that I wanted. A green one. I didn't even get the green drop, so I don't like that place. I like Antnest better. Server I am in, the auction is closed due to people duping. Mass spam of botters are taking over. Oh, that's not good. I haven't seen any bots yet. Do you know where they're at? Can we go say hi? It's too crowded there except for DJ hours. Too crowded where? Antnest? You just group up. I rarely see more than like 1 or 2 groups of people in Antnest. Unless you're talking about Shadow Crypt. Shadow Crypt is very, very crowded right now. Yeah, we usually only do Shadow Crypt at night because we can kill everybody and then farm. Alright, we got 30 minutes until something. Gigantrine? Alright, great. I wish there was a way to filter those better. Might do Antnest for those pants. Didn't know it dropped there. Yeah. A lot of people want those pants. So let's see if we can check the price. I have clicked the auction house. I will now wait for 2 minutes. Hey. You maxed your pants? I just kept selling. Every time I got a drop, I just kept selling them. It was too good. Yeah, look at this. 500 Lucent for melee evasion. Hello? I popped melee endurance on, but honestly, I could have sold that as well. I don't even know if I really want melee endurance. I kind of regret putting those on my pants. I think I'd rather put debuff duration. But yeah, still a lot of good options here. The only one that's really not worth selling is no help. There we go. Magic endurance. 59. That's like right on the edge. Maybe if you have a lot of stones, it's probably worth 5. But the rest of these are all definitely worth selling. Okay, what was I gonna do? I was gonna do something today. What was I gonna do? There's something specific that I was gonna work on. Cooking? I do need to work on cooking. These expiring in 24 hours is wild. Yeah, make sure you cook. I should have included that in the video. That is super crazy. Okay, do we get any titles? No. Did get a Shadow Crypt.
Apparently Tables is only from the weekly version.
Oh, you don't get them out of the random ones?
No.
Let's check some things. Eldritch Ice Band. Let's see if this is worth lithoing.
I don't even know how you get the auction house to work. Mine doesn't work at all.
Exit lag dog.
Motherfucker, what
Forgot what I was doing. Okay, 1800. Probably worth. I don't really think I have anything better than that to sell. Want to check the timers. Okay, yeah, they've all been up for less than a few hours. Let's also check Resistance, Infernal Herald, and the other Resistance. Okay, so we got Heroic Armor and Heroic Garb. Apparently I can only loot chess pieces. Who is this old guy? Tompton, are you playing this game? Okay, 1300, that's too low. Got bots in the starter zone in the farm fields. Another spot is next to the Queen Blood Spider. In the farm fields. Huh. I wonder why they would be in the farm field. Are you sure that's not just people doing the guild mission? They kind of behave like bots. New one that's starting is the field where Chernobog spawns. What are they even getting? Haven't gamed with Tompton since the Black Road. What a game. Ooh, 700. Okay. So, probably not worth my ink. Is that all the purples that I got right now? We can check the weapons, but almost certainly they're not worth. Okay, so I got Banshee and Resistance Longbow. I think we checked the Resistance bow earlier, right? It was like 4K. It's not good enough. Oh. Yeah, 4K. Yeah. And then Banshee's probably also like 4K, 4.5. That's my guess. Oh my god, it crashed. 3K? Well, that's definitely not worth. How are people even... You literally like lose money selling that. That's crazy. That must be people who made it and then the price went down and now they just have to like take an L. Yeah, that's literally not even profitable to make. That's crazy. Okay. Well, the Heroic Garb has range evasion on it, so we probably want to extract that bad boy. Let's just make sure. But range evasion on armor is a great trait, so I expect that this is good to go. We go to chess piece. We wait. We tap our feet impatiently. Okay, 280. I have to spend 25. That's like barely a 10-to-1 ratio. I'm not excited about that. I think we just throw that one in storage. So my gear storage strategy is if once something gets to a point where I know it's not profitable, I throw it in storage to use it for later if it has a good trait. If it has a junk trait, we just salvage or litho. Which, unfortunately, I'm probably going to have to do with the rest of this crap. Oh, hey, this golem staff has hit. That'll be worth something. I need to decide on some of these pieces. I might run Gloom Helmet. I was going to do like a... Oh, yeah, I've got these Deadeye Cloaks, too. Debuff duration. Let's check those. Those might be worth selling. Why did anti-cheat kick me and not letting me in? Is there something you want to tell us? Getting kicked... Why did I type it here? Getting kicked by easy anti-cheat when you're not doing anything is an ancient MMO pastime. Production is worthless, money is everything? Did I do this wrong? Or is it just lagging? There should be cloaks, right? Oh, I know what I did. Wrong color. Give it a second. Anti-cheat is being really buggy right now. It has always been buggy for every game that's ever used it. This is my first real MMO. Oh. Yeah, easy anti-cheat used to kick us from Lost Ark because we would be AFK fishing on BDO in the background. And it would say that BDO was the cheating software. It would be like, Lost Ark is closed by easy anti-cheat for this reason, and the reason would be Black Desert. Okay. Cloak is considered armor. This should be in the right place. The auction house might just be totally RIP. Let's try this. Let's try just searching for Deadeye. Still not working for you at all? Free to play, barely got 1k Lucent. Do you recommend me to buy the battle pass? Yeah, I think it's a really good use of 50 Lucent, or 500 Lucent. You're gonna get all kinds of stuff that's gonna save you money. Even like the trade on lockstones by themselves will probably save you more than 500 Lucent in the long run. What items are worth keeping as you level? Ooh, that's a tough one to answer. Like, if we're talking gear, anything with a trait that you're going to use or sell on the market. But as a new player, it's going to be hard to know what those are, especially since the market is so laggy right now. But generally, weapons with hit chance, crit chance, or heavy attack. Armor with any kind of evasion, really. But especially like range evasion, or I don't know, I feel like melee evasion is selling really well right now. It used to be range and magic evasion, but right now a lot of people are building melee evasion too. Okay, yeah, that's good. We're going to sell these. Accessories, you want to look for pieces with skill damage, boost, or resistance. You want to look for max health on pretty much any piece. Armor or accessory. Weapon, maybe. You'd have to check, but maybe not. And then buff duration, debuff duration. There's some unique ones for... Do you want to blow all these right now? I don't need quite that many. Let's buy like 40. I might need some ink instead. There's some unique traits that you might find, like movement speed on boots or attack speed on gloves, that are specific to that slot. Those tend to have a pretty good value, but they don't exist on all armor, so you kind of just have to keep an eye out. Another one is like cooldown reduction on helmet. You won't see it on other armor pieces, but sometimes you'll see it on helmets. But it's a lot of like just trial and error. It's a lot of just taking time, searching the market, and seeing what's valuable. That's kind of the spark notes, but it's just going to take time for you to learn everything. Level 23, should I be crafting, upgrading gear? You should definitely be upgrading your gear. Yeah. As far as crafting gear, you're going to get some green lithographs, and I recommend turning those into accessories. Oh, you do not need to be running around in gray accessories. So yeah, crafting your accessories out is pretty good. Other than that, you don't need to worry too much about crafting. Uh-oh. Alright, we gotta be real careful here. Make sure that shit says 96. Make sure it confirms here.
Apparently that doesn't work, so just be careful.
Well, we'll see.
People in my little static are sniping stuff like crazy for 10 Lucent.
Well, that's because people are not double checking it. It's just reverting to 10 and they're clicking accept.
Maybe that's it.
That's smart though, dude. Maybe I should just camp the auction house today and snipe.
That's what they're doing in my... People have just made a couple thousand Lucent. Buying...
when the auction house is more profitable than playing the game. Every time I open the auction, it just says something in Korean, and when I search, there's no items. That sounds suboptimal. You could try resetting your language in the settings. I'm like waiting for the item I posted to show up. I'm kind of nervous. I need to see that the sale price is not 10. Help. Think of the answer? Yeah. No problem. Auction market is always the best eco. It really is, unfortunately. I don't know. There's been games that weren't like that. In BDO, you couldn't really just camp the market all day long. You could sit in town all day long and do other things, but you couldn't just sit at the market. You could sit there and enhance. Classic AGS economy. Okay, there it is. It registered correctly. Should we just troll the auction house for a little bit and see if we... I wonder what the best way to do that is. Just click through things. Like, this window right here probably doesn't refresh on its own. We could just target specific traits. Alright, let's go for broke. Let's see if anyone misplaced some heavy attack traits. Let's go straight to the top. When should I start worrying about traits? Once you're level 50, you definitely don't need to worry about them while leveling. Leveling's easy. But once you're level 50, I mean, you could sell traits while leveling. I don't know how you're really going to get the extraction stones, though. Once you get to 50 and you, like, clear your first big batch of contracts, you get a lot of contract coins, and then you use those coins to buy extraction stones, and then you can start selling traits. As far as putting traits on your gear, any greens you find while leveling, you know, you can put those on your gear if you want, or you can save them if you want to sell them. Definitely... By the time you get blue gear, you should be looking to trade that blue gear. You should not just be jumping straight from blue to purple. You should be chilling at blue and getting traits, unless you are a big whale, or unless you're upgrading your weapon. Going straight from blue to purple weapon right away is okay. But for everything else, you probably want to hang out at blue and get traits before moving on to purple, because purple traits are giga expensive. This is not searching. Do we wait? We keep waiting.
Yeah, the age is too early for me to even camp it. Where's
I don't
my
even know if
coin?
you can search for traits right now. I feel like item search is the only one that works.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. They've snagged some good stuff. I'm gonna need some ornate coins because the auction house doesn't work.
Same. Bro, heavy attack on Morokai's for 25k.
That's
Get out of here.
insane. This is at least a 2,000 ornate coin annoyance.
It's so true, dude. What's another item that's dropping a lot right now that someone might misplace? Is the old chat system in the game broken? Probably. If the market's having issues, it wouldn't surprise me that the chat's having issues too. Show us around the auction house. It's not the greatest time to show you around the auction house. The auction house is pretty straightforward though. It's traits, lithographs, and like rubrics. Oh, and food, I guess. But like the precious ores. So there's two different types of ores. Like there's purple rubrics ore, and then there's precious purple rubrics ore. And you can sell the precious versions of an ore on the market, but you can't sell the regular version. So those are on the market. And then let's see if we can even look for the other stuff. You can probably make some decent money cooking right now. Let's take a look. Can you meld lower level stones together to get higher ones? Yes, 5-to-1 ratio. Green to blue, and then 5 blues to 1 purple. Any chance anyone in chat plays Xbox? I don't know if it's bugged. Can't single target heal with controller. Sorry to pop in your chat and ask you a crazy question. I don't think you're on controller. I am not on controller. No. You might check your targeting settings. Maybe you have it so you can only target enemies or something. I don't know what the... Do you have a traits guide on your channel? Not yet. There's a lot of trait guides out there, so it wasn't something I was in a big hurry to make, but I might make one anyways. And just throw it out into the ocean. Into the sea of videos. Could probably make it shorter than the other ones. Thank you so much for the tips video. I've sent it to all my friends. Hell yeah, I appreciate that. Noob Traps video popped off. Yeah, I didn't realize it was that useful. That was my like rusty comeback guide video. I finished that and I was like, dude, I could make this so much more crisp. But it still did really well. So next video should be even crispier. I don't know why I can't see any of these, but these are the other things you can buy off the market. So Tevins and Queen, Bellendier Soul, these are the boss fragments that are not actually in the game yet. They won't be in the game until the end of the month. But these precious rubrics, you use these for weapon stones, skill books, accessory stones, armor stones. You also need these for lithographs. That's the biggest thing you need these for, really, is for lithographs or for Solent. A lot of people will vendor the blue ones for Solent because they're 430k each. So people will, this is a way to like convert Lucent into Solent if that's something you feel like you need to do. Kind of a whale thing right now. Most people shouldn't need to do that, but if you do need to do it, this is kind of the tech. And then the red, green, and yellow precious stones. You need 10 of these every time you litho something. So that's what drives most of the cost for these things. And then these are just the lower tier versions. This, you guys want the real secret tech? I don't know if we should be talking about Abyssal Aggregate yet.
Oh, is this sold out now?
No, it's just not loading.
Oh.
Might be sold out. Should we buy it all out before we talk about it?
Probably.
Explain things very well, much better than other channels. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I'm glad you find it useful.
So far, to be honest, I think it just goes up,
Here we go.
but I don't know.
34 each. At least the lowest one. How many do you need? Like 60?
60.
Yeah. They go up pretty fast. 40 per unit, 50 per unit. If you wanted to buy 60, you'd be paying a lot. There's only enough on the market for like 2 people to get one right now.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I wonder if a lot of people just don't even realize what it's for.
They absolutely don't know what it's for.
It's
Yeah.
sitting in their inventory.
No,
and
there's no way people know what it's for. That shit should be like 200 each. I think we should buy it, dude. I'm trying to talk myself into it.
I've been trying to talk myself into it for days. I think buying it all and just hoarding it, and then there's going to be a small window where everybody's buying it, and it's going to sell like crazy, I think. The problem is I just don't know if there's a lot more out there that people just have in their inventory. They don't know what it
I was
is.
just gonna buy everything under 50, and someone like just did it as I was refreshing. Yeah. Anyone else having a problem with AMD? 6800 XT seems to lag a lot. Turn off hair strands. There's some good optimization guides out there. Grobs has a really good optimization guide that you can check out. GROBS on YouTube. Smaller channel, but really good guide. I'm not spending a dime long as I can grind it all. Yeah, you can grind it all. It'll just take longer, but you can definitely grind it. This game is very free-to-play accessible. For as much as people have been calling it pay-to-win, which it is, it's also very free-to-play accessible. You can definitely max out without spending money. That's what I did in Korea. Didn't spend a single dollar. Can I use any random blue weapon, as it is taking so much time to farm a decent one? I wouldn't necessarily use any random one. There's some good ways to get blue weapons. Yeah, I can't bring myself to buy those at 50 plus. If you're in a level 10 guild, you can get this guy down here. Which, it's the golem weapon. I don't know if that's good for any class, but another way you can get blue weapons is from the litho book. You can get any of the resistance weapons by just crafting the green versions. And then somewhere around here. Did I already do them? There's no way I already did them all. These are all purples. What am I looking for? Yeah, so like broadsword of the resistance, crit and max health, really good. If I wanted this, I would just craft all the green versions. You can buy the green lithos from the contract merchants. It's kind of steep for weapons. It's 100 each, 100 coins each, but you could do that, or you could, I guess you could go farm them. I don't know if that's more time efficient, but yeah, you just slap all these in and you get the blue. And most of these resistance weapons are pretty good. So like, I guess it just depends on what you mean by like any random blue. I don't think any of these are like terrible. Yeah, the longbow has hit. That's super nice. The crossbows have hit. Staff is crit and mana. I don't feel like any of the blue resistance weapons are really junk, so you could definitely start with those on, I think, any build. Remember watching you testing New World a few years back. How broken is this game in your opinion? This game isn't anywhere as broken as New World. New World was completely, almost every skill was bugged in some way. This game has some bugs in terms of like, I don't know, like sometimes when you charge skills, your character gets stuck in the charging animation, and you have to like roll to fix it. It's got like little things like that, like little functional bugs, but it doesn't have like, you know, the skill says it does 10 damage and actually it does 800 damage like New World does. Like it doesn't have these egregious, just like completely off the wall fucking broken things not doing what they say they do. Well, I'm level 36. This is the first game in a while that I can heal and kill with a medic class. Yeah, a bow wand is a super solid build. Like, it's high skills healing, it does damage, it does healing, it does crowd control. You can do all kinds of shit as a medic in this game. What do you think about the leveling pass worth? I bought it, yeah. The battle pass, super worth. The leveling pass, I think so too. Yeah, I mean, the stuff you get at the end alone, probably worth 500 loose. 25 dimensional shards, I think this by itself is worth 500 lucent. And then all the other stuff, the soul end and the, yeah, this is taking another look at it, I would say, yeah, for sure. This is 500 lucent. But don't spend $10 if you don't want to spend $10. You can just farm lucent in the game. Started on the free servers. I'm at 2.2k gear score. What should I be doing outside of co-op dungeons and daily contracts? Anything I should be farming? You should definitely be doing abyssal dungeons. A lot of good loot you can get in abyssal dungeons. Shadow Crypt is nice right now, but it's very crowded. You could farm Ant Nest. There's some open world farm that you can do. You can grind elites, or you can run around one of the level 50 zones and just kind of kill everything. Grey Claw or Shattered. Ruins. There's a lot of areas you can just kind of run around, smash mobs and get drops, get contracts. Fishing and cooking is actually very not bad right now, and will probably become more valuable in the future. Any quest you could take before level 50 that could help with drops inside of dungeon. Any quest you could take before 50 that could help with drops inside of dungeon. I'm not sure what you mean. This isn't an Amazon studio game. It's not the same issues. Yeah, this is published by Amazon, but it wasn't developed by Amazon, so it doesn't have... It doesn't even have 1% as many bugs as New Worlds. Alright. Do we have any events coming up? Or is it just Gigantrite?
The guy was asking if there's like
Oh my god,
quests
help.
that you have to find in the real world, maybe.
Alright, we've got some time. It might be cooking time. It might be cooking time. Or it might be ant nest time. I might go grind some cooking mats. So let's see. Which of these look the easiest? I only need to get to what? Level 2, then I can make other stuff. This we can buy from the vendor. Same with this, I think. Oh yeah, look at all this meat. This we can buy from the vendor. Oh, I could go gathering. Okay, well, I got a lot of herbs we can use too. All right, so yeah, I just need to slam out a few more crafts and get this done. Lemongrass. How would one get lemongrass? From gather? Okay. Kind of need to do some gathering. Rye bread. We can buy milk. Fishing mastery bonus? Wait, I actually need that. So, let's make some. I have some cooking mastery food. This one's sellable. Let's hold on to that. 30 minutes. All right. Too late. We've done it. Can't undo it now. All right, so make 5 of these. Great cooking level, great success rate bonus, 0.2%. Success to, oh, okay, I made 2 grays, 2 greens, and 1 great green. Sick. Still didn't level up though. So we need to go buy some more milk, and then, or I did level up. It says I have new recipes. Oh, they're grayed out because I don't have the stuff. Okay. Mushrooms, I think we need to gather for these. Yeah. We gotta go to a specific area? Onions we can buy.
Some of the stuff's only when it's raining too.
That's wild.
Like the pork I know from the pigs.
Yeah, we need mushrooms. I could use more herbs, but we've got a good amount to start with. Just making sure I didn't miss anything. Can make some more fried egg. How much XP? These are all 2 XP. Okay, no, these are 4 and 5. So these are going to be better to make. But they both require mushrooms. I can get to level 3, and then the level 3 recipes give me 11 and 14. Some fishies. Garlic. Can we buy this? Do we have to gather this? Okay, I think we can just buy that. So we can buy both of these, and then we can go fishing. Yeah. All right. All evasion 60, all endurance 60. It's not bad. XP bonus food, I'm not too worried about. The hit food, like I'm trying to see what I'm actually going to use. We're definitely going to use the rye bread. We're going to use vegetables because of the category of food that this is. We can stack this since it has this little, I don't even know what that is, atom symbol. We can stack that with attack food and defense food. You can have 1 of each. In fact, you might even be able to have 2 of these. There's like some tech with like eating a green one and eating a blue one. That's interesting. So we definitely want to make some more pickled fruit candy for cooking bonus. We definitely want to make vegetable stir fry for health. I don't need mushroom stir fry. And then, is it 1 attack, 1 defense, or is it either or?
Bro, I don't know.
It's whack. The cooking rules in this game are very confusing.
With, like,
I think they might be bugged, actually. I think some of it might not be intended. Alright, well, I'm going to use my 1 lemongrass here to make, because I'm going to need more of these. I just want to eke out level 3 real quick. I should be able to do that.
I know for sure you can use 1 attack and 1 of the little atom things.
And then honey, I don't really care about this. We're going to get better. We already have PvP food that's from baskets from doing events. So yeah, let's buy. I need 7 milk, and then I'm just gonna make a bunch of bread. Eating bread makes you a better fisher.
There's also a recipe.
Yeah, if you want to dump your solent. I spent like 10 million solent on milk and KR.
I'm about to spend about 5 or 6.
All right. Good evening. Quick questions. Those dimensional tokens. How do I get more of them? You wait. You regenerate 900 a day at max level, and that is pretty much how you get them, unless they mail us some for maintenance or something. I know you could get scrolls level 50 every week, and they would give you some drops for killing essential mobs inside of dungeons. Yes, you get those from the Sundries merchant, so the guy that we were just talking to. You definitely want to buy those out every week. Those are for the abyssal dungeons, though, not for the dimensional dungeons. And yeah, any Sundries I think any Sundries merchant. This guy definitely has them, but I think any Sundries merchant will have them. So you definitely buy these out every week. And then Tatel's Tower is the instance secret dungeon, and then the rest of these are for abyssal dungeons. Okay, I'm now level 3 cook. Are you guys proud of me? Thank you, thank you. Yes, very impressive. I know. To craft weapons, you need dimensional soul shards. Is it worth to farm only 1 dungeon until I get my weapon? Should I be farming 20 shards on each dungeon? It doesn't have to be exactly even, because you're going to get a lot of dimensional tokens from the leveling pass and the battle pass. So you can kind of use those to fill out your gaps. But broadly, it should be even. I mean, it really depends on what you're targeting. Because if you want... There's 2 really good things you can get by spreading them out. But there's stuff you can get by not spreading it out too. So, like... if we go talk to this guy... and I go down to these chests. This is the wrong place. This is all abyss currency. Is it the armor guy? Okay, yeah. So if I really want, Eldritch Ice Band, then I can just slam this dungeon and get 80 and then get it. I'm trying to look at like what's really... There's nothing in here that's like so good that I would go out of... Maybe some of the Ebon Roar pieces. Bracers of the Primal King. So this is probably the one... If you're going to spam a dungeon for an equipment selection chest, Bracers is probably the best thing in here for most builds. So that's why a lot of people spam Cave of Destruction. So I could definitely see an argument for spamming out 80 Liquarius shards from Cave of Destruction. The rest of this stuff, maybe. A lot of it's really build specific. But if you instead spread them out... This is all abyss currency, right? Yeah, okay. If you instead spread them out, then you can get... So if I get 2 of these dimensional essences, this is what you get for spreading them out. You get these dimensional essences. So if I get 20 of each... I think it's 20 of each, right? Let's double check that. Where do you... Oh, it's only 10 of each. Okay, so 20 for 2. So 10 of each token gets me a dimensional essence. 20 of each token gets me 2 dimensional essences. And then I could use that on this, which now has... Overall, I would say some better stuff than most of these chests. Like for me, Plate of the Field General is a really good chest piece. For melee DPS, that's probably going to be BIS for most of us. The rest of the pieces, again, really build specific. So that's one option. You could get 2 dimensional essences, and you could pick gear from here. But there's a couple other really good options for spreading out. So where's the weapon one? Let's see. If we go to view usage, do you just trade these straight for the... Okay, I think you just go straight at the top. And then, yeah, okay, they're there. So you don't have to look for the chests. For the weapons, you can just craft the weapon directly with 2 dimensional essences. So this is probably what most people are going to be going for first, is their purple weapon. It's like a 5% drop chance, we think, to get the purple weapon. But if you want it sooner, then you farm all the dungeons, you get those 2-dimensional essences, and you just craft a weapon. And if you even if you craft a weapon and then you end up getting lucky and you get the weapon again, it's not a bad thing, because every time it drops, that's a chance of getting a trait that you really need. Because you have to have this exact weapon to unlock traits. So getting it multiple times is good. So you might even farm a lot of dimensional essence to get these. But in addition to that, there's even more uses. So if we go to the accessory merchant, and then we go to this precious epic accessory selection chest, this only costs 1 dimensional essence. And the rings that you can get from here are really good. If I can figure out, here we go. So Amber Dimensional Band and Sapphire Dimensional Band, these are both pretty dank. And again, it depends on your build. I use the Sapphire Dimension Band for most of my time in KR. Did I ever replace this? I eventually used Transcendent Ring, but you get 2 rings. I feel like it was Transcendent Ring and this ring for pretty much all of KR. This is a really good ring for ranged DPS.
I think that's it's one of those in Transcendent.
Yeah, because the attack range is just so strong, and then you get a lot of raw stats. Very good. And then for melee, movement, speed, strength, like this is really good too. I mean, strength and dex are both just such valuable stats. So that's another option. So you got the accessories you can make, you got the weapons you can make. If you do target a specific dungeon, you can go for those pieces, but most of the time it's probably better to spread them out and get those dimensional essences. Let them cook. I've had 5 bracelets of the Primal King drop. Okay, well, must be nice, Silver. Must be nice. Can I have one? Why is dagger / wand so terrible in PvP? I don't know. I don't play that build. Is it really that bad? I bet you can make it work. I have been instructed by Ethereum members to publicly state that Wand Dagger is a bad build, and that's all I will say about Wand Dagger. Is Duke Magna better than Mordecai for PvP? If you have enough hit, yeah. Well, here's the thing with Dukes. So Mordecai out the gate has 187 hit on it, which is very good. So untraded, Mordecai's better. Fully traded, I think Magnus is going to be better, because all the hit that you get from Mordecai, you can put that as traits on your Magna. And if you want to fully trait Mordecai's, it's going to be a lot more expensive than fully trading Magnus. So you can kind of like substitute the hit out by just trading out your Magnus. If you could fully trait both of them, it's really hard to say. Mordecai's might be better. Kind of depends on if your opponent has melee evasion. That's really what it comes down to. Like, against someone with melee evasion, Mordecai's is better. Against someone without melee evasion, Magnus is better. But I think Magnus overall has the advantage because of the fact that it's just easier to trait. Like, that's really what it comes down to. It's just way cheaper to trait. You're pretty much going to have to use unlock stones to trait Mordecai's. What happened to weapon mastery if I'm using bow staff and I switch to bow dagger? You'll keep the bow mastery, but you'll have to level up to dagger mastery. Your skill mastery always goes to the 2 weapons that you have equipped. Just came from a YouTube video. 11 noob traps. Great video. Concise and informative. Hell yeah, Rycon. Thanks for making it. There will be more videos to come. Should I join a guild and use the guild crafting system? Everyone should join a guild. Yeah, you get a lot of stuff for being in a guild. The guild shop is super important. It's got stuff you're going to buy every day and every week. Definitely join a guild ASAP. One dagger, not bad build. It's worse builds. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. I think Mordecai is better. Meta is all melee evasion, and missing skills is detrimental. We're not Onyx anymore.
Oh.
Both are really good options. I mean, Mordecai and Mag, like, both are really good options. I'm on the fence, personally. How's one staff compared to one bow? Are the heals lacking in endgame? Yeah, bow just explicitly has more healing than staff. There's no comparison. Staff has some other useful stuff on it. It's got like the evasion shred on the Ice Tomb. It's got the mobility with smokescreen. I don't know why people like one staff so much. I always kind of shit on that build, to be honest with you. I feel like it's overrated. I don't really know what one staff gets you that's better than one bow. I feel like one bow is better in pretty much every scenario. But yeah, there are a couple things you can do with a staff that you can't do without a bow in that build, but you're missing so much support that I don't really see the value personally. Is the extra DPS worth the lack of healing? I don't think so. Bow DPS is pretty good too. I think you can DPS just fine as a bow wand. Here, if you run dagger with other weapons, always choose evasion. Otherwise, if non-dagger, go endurance. I think for dagger, you almost always run evasion. For sword and shield, you can probably do either one. For bow wand, you would definitely go endurance. For bow staff, you would go endurance. Kind of just depends. If you have a shield or a... If you have a dagger, you can go evasion. If you have a shield, you might go evasion, you might go endurance. If you have a bow, you're probably going endurance. Unless you also have a dagger, then you can go evasion. Yeah. I think that covers most of the meta builds right now. One staff because of the RP. Yeah, it is very RP. Greatsword Expo goes endurance. Yeah, some of the off-meta builds would go endurance. Greatsword Expo. Greatsword Staff. Greatsword Staff players should definitely go endurance. If you're playing something with that doesn't have a shield or a dagger, then you almost certainly are going endurance. I can't think of an exception to that. How's it feel to play tank? Is it fun? Yeah, tank is crazy in this game. It's absolutely bonkers. Alright, I'm gonna make some Castler stew for XP. Let's make, I don't know, 10 of these? What do I need to level up? Oh wow, that's a lot. Alright. Could buy some vegetable oil. Make like 8. I don't want to use more of my lettuce than I need to. Kind of confused about how late game builds look in this game. I've been playing wand staff. Looking at later PvP builds, it's all evasion and endurance and close to nothing else. Is that right? No. You would not build evasion and endurance together. You would pick one or the other to focus on. There might be one or two of your pieces that you build endurance on just because there's not a good third trait. But for the most part, you're always going to have evasion, and then like move speed if it's boots, or attack range if it's gloves, or cooldown if it's helm, or max health if it's chest legs. Like there's usually a third trait you can get that's good. Some pieces might have like max mana instead of max health, and so you can just get endurance instead if you don't want the mana. But for the most part, you will always just build 2 evasion plus something else on your armor. Or the opposite. You would build double endurance. You would not mix and match endurance and evasion unless you had absolutely no other option. What stats do you use for Greatsword Dagger? I run full Dex and Wisdom. I do pretty much the opposite of that, Grixis. Perception is the top priority. Strength is second. Dex is third. Wisdom's last. Kind of depends on what gear I happen to have on and what breakpoints I can hit. But 60 perception, 50 strength is the goal for endgame. And then whatever dex we can get after that is gravy. Wisdom is totally ignored. Shield users need a 50% damage reduction in PvP. You tell them, Zio. Alright, I gotta finish cooking before my bonus wears off. Went for health and health regen. Ooh. Health is good. Max health is pretty much good on every build. But health regen, I would not recommend. 29 XP for this cookie? Damn. What else did we unlock? Tomato? Can I buy this? Or is this gathered? Oh, yeah, let's buy some tomato. 22. Yo, this is the recipe right here. Hit and heavy at hit. That's like really, really usable too. We might have to do some meat farming, boys. Looks like meat is back on the menu. I'm sorry. I apologize for that. Please don't unsub. All right, let's go buy a bunch of tomatoes. I mean, more that I don't really see pure glass cannon builds for mages healers. Everything looks like tank builds. Well, there is no glass cannon trait for armor. That's why you're seeing that. So you're gonna glass out on your weapon. Like, don't put health on your weapon. But there's no like crit on your chest piece. You know what I mean? Your chest piece is always just gonna be like health, debuff duration, endurance, evasion. There's no damage or crit or anything like that on your armor. On accessories, you're going to get skill damage boost on ring and on the other one. I don't remember, neck. I think two of the accessories have skill damage boost and two of them have skill damage resistance. And those are just always bis for every build. So you'll get some damage, you'll get some tankiness, regardless of what role you play. Because there's just not another option. Like, you can't get skill damage boost on your bracelet. Your bracelet's always going to have skill damage resistance. So there is no glass cannon option. You see what I mean? So you're buying offense on the pieces that have offense, and you're buying defense on the pieces that have defense. There's rarely a time where you have to choose between the two. Unless it's like gloves. Sometimes you'll get two offensive traits on gloves. Sometimes you can get like range and attack speed on glove at the same time. And so then you might only have one defensive trait. But most armor is going to be all defensive traits, or at least two defensive traits. And then one, like, utility trait. Tomato? Tomato. Now, as far as the pieces themselves, you can definitely aim more tanky or more aggressive. Like, you can look for armor that has endurance on the piece, or you can look for armor that has crit on the piece. So, like, if I look at these, like this Gloomguard helmet, this has max health and crit chance on it. I could definitely look for a helmet that, instead of crit, has endurance if I want to be more tanky. So, like the top line stats, those go back and forth, but the traits are always kind of the same. So there's some variance, but you're always going to have defensive traits on your armor, offensive traits on your weapon, and then whatever your accessories allow. All right, I need. I got so much salt, boys. I'm just killing it on the salt front. Alright, this is just such a pog recipe. I'm just going to slam this. 11? Why not 12? Oh, because I clicked plus 10. I thought that was max. Alright, yeah, let's just make all these. Oh, level 6 chef. Look at that cooking. This is how you cook. Alright. You think that's going to get clipped? What were we talking about? Ads? Someone gift me a sub? Just open a YouTube tab. That's what all the cool kids are doing nowadays. What's your opinion on staff dagger builds? Really fun. I played staff dagger in Korea. It's a super good PvP and I would say fairly good PvE. We went greatsword and staff, and I think it might be the worst PvP choice. It's not the worst. If you were like greatsword and okay, it might be the worst. I feel like greatsword wand is worse. I don't know. Maybe greatsword wand is secret tech though. Infinite CC combo. Knock someone down. Hit him. Stun him. Hit him again. Sleep him. Hit him again. Heal yourself. Pop some emotes. Alright. I have unlocked new things. We're flying through these levels. I can make... Oh, this is good. Yeah, we make this for sure. Alright, let's go buy like 20 milk. Crank these out. Bird egg custard. How many exactly am I going to make? Let's make 10. Because I don't have infinite eggs. Solent bone is so good for abyssal grinding though. And then health regen. Oh, it's my favorite stat. No fucking way I'm spending eggs on this. It is really good XP though. But not good enough. I want that Solent food. Terror bird stew. Evasion and heavy attack evasion. Nah, I'd rather use my meat on the other stuff. 57 XP, not bad, but I'd rather make the other stuff. And then crit and heavy. I'll probably use the hit heavy food. But crit heavy pretty dank. Possibly better in PvE. I need mushies for this though. Alright, so let's make 10 custard. And then the rest of this we skip for now. Let's see what opens up at level 7 and 8. How much longer do I have? 4 minutes? I wasted 26 minutes. I haven't even cooked anything yet. I don't even remember what I'm out here buying. Vegetable oil? Milk? Shit. What goes with eggs? What's the best solo farming weapon combination? Dagger, crossbow. Hands down. End of story. Nothing comes close. I went too far. Custard. Milk. Okay. Guys, milk goes in custard, not tomatoes. Maybe I'll swap greatsword out for daggers if it's not too late. It's probably not too late, man. I mean, did you spend like all your books and all your... You can transfer the levels on your gear over pretty easily. It's mainly just like the skill books that might set you back a little, but you can get more. Buy them with ornate coins. Oh, I got a blue one that lasts like an hour or something. Okay, fish pottage, which I didn't even know that was a word. Were you guys aware of this word? Apple tart. Which is what I call your mom. Ooh, skill damage boost. That's not bad either. Okay, we'll probably crank out some healthy milk at level 8. Which will be a bit of a solent sink, but I've got 22 routine. That'll give me some levels. I'm just trying to see if there's anything here that I really want to make. Okay, I think it's fishing time. Yeah, I'm just gonna make. I'm gonna be using a lot of this. We're never gonna not use this. So let's make some more egg custard, which means I need more eggs. And then we need more meat, and then I'll make these 2 recipes, and that'll get me to level 8, and then we'll crank out some healthy milk. How bad is Bow Expo and PvP? It's just like very, very squishy. There's a lot of like AoE and cool things you can do with that build, but most likely someone is going to just stun you and kill you, and you won't really have any way of escaping. So that's why most people are playing Dagger on those builds if they want a PvP. Alright, boys, keep the salt rolling in. Sword and shield plus wand. Very good builds. Yeah, very good in dungeon build. Very good large-scale PvP builds. Not really good at farming, but you don't need to solo farm. You can just get a group and then let everyone else do the damage while you group up the mobs. The tank in my static uses a wand. He doesn't use a greatsword. What attributes should Staff Dagger be focusing on, such as crit or cooldown, etc.? Pretty much every DPS needs to focus on hit and crit. Cooldown to some degree, although there's diminishing returns. Alright, do we go fishing? I kind of think we go fishing. I feel like fishing. I think at nighttime we go and grind meats. I need a gathering rotation. Does anyone have a POG gathering rotation? Let's see what our choices are for mushrooms. There might be multiple types of mushrooms we can go after. Pure Light, Grey Claw, Kidu, Sandworm Lair. Might be able to do that while grinding wolves. Let's run around... Let's run around Carmine for a second, see if... Because this is like a lower level area. Probably not a lot of people gathering here. What are the best rings for PvP for SNS and Greatsword right now? The best rings in the whole game? I mean, Transcendent Ring, or what is it called in this game? Band of Universal Power in this version is probably the best ring for every builds. But you're not going to get one unless you get really lucky with this weekly mission, or unless you swipe thousands of dollars. So it's going to be a while until most people see that ring. I don't know if I would like go straight for the best rings, dude. I would probably get yourself some solid blue rings and work on those. Violent Signet is pretty good for almost every build, although for tank it might not be as important. You could look at like Platinum Skullband. A really good way to look at like gear is if you press comma and then you just go to accessories, ring. There's not that many blue rings, right? So like you can kind of just look at these and see, okay, like strength, stun chance, collision chance. If I'm playing a SNS Greatsword tank and I'm doing a lot of like hooking and pulling in PvP, I might like that. This crit and mana regen, maybe for like a staff, but probably not for tank. This one's wisdom, garbage. This one right here, crit chance and max health. That's pretty solid. If I don't care about crit, if I'm trying to be more tanky, then, you know, maybe not. Ring of Precision, even though it's green, this is like a really solid ring to use for a long time. And for many builds, it might actually be better than using a blue. You might just use Violent Signet and Ring of Precision. I don't know about for tank. For tank, I haven't geared tank that much. Even when I played tank, I played it as a DPS. Because I'm cringe like that. So, what do you think about Dagger Expo? It's like the best build in the game. Very good. You get 900 tokens per day. You can clear 3 dungeons per day. Limit? Yes. Unless they like mail us extra tokens, you pretty much... I mean, you can clear as many as you want, but if you want to open the chest at the end, that costs 300 every time. Thank you for the tips video. No problem, dude. I'm like level 24, but really eating this game up, enjoying it a lot. You're gonna like it even more at 50, dude. I had a hard time at level 24. Is that much more important to trade blues rather than to move to purples? Yes, unless you're a whale. I mean, if you're spending... Okay, I was trying to figure out why that was showing brutal incision. If you're spending lots of cash, then you could skip blues. 99% of us are not going to skip blues. We're going to skip blue weapon and get purple weapon. And then all the rest of our armor and accessories are going to be blue. And we're going to fully trait those. Maybe have 1 or 2 purples that we work on in the meantime. But for the most part, fully traded blues is a huge power increase compared to just getting a base trait purple. Alright, I'm seeing trees, but I'm not seeing herbs. Oh, I'm over in Shattered. Bro, don't stun me while I'm chopping trees. That is just so rude. No, don't. Okay. Oh, I got it. Huge W. Okay, we need to go south. We were trying to do Carmine, not Shattered. Would you still recommend melee evasion for magic users? It not necessarily. I mean, it depends. It depends on what you're trying to do. For arena, yeah. For Zerg versus Zerg, probably not. It just depends on, like, I mean, do you trust your guildies to peel for you? Most of the time, as a like staff or a bow user in large scale, a lot of the time what's going to kill you is going to be a melee jumping on you. But also a lot of the time what's going to kill you is like a sleep bomb, right? So you could evade that with magic, you know, or a flash arrow. You can evade that with range. So any of it can kill you. It kind of just depends on how good your positioning is, how well known you are. Like, do a lot of people have you feuded? Because if all the enemy assassins know you and have you feuded, then yeah, you need melee evasion because they're all going to be diving your ass. But, you know, if you're kind of hanging back and keeping a lower profile, then maybe you go range magic and just try to dodge AoE. Should I switch to epic gear or stay on blue gear? I would stay on blues until you really know what you're doing with purples. I would stay on blues. Focus on trading those out. Except for weapon. Get a purple weapon. Once I get guildies, we will see, but noted. Just running staff and wand. Wand for survivability mostly, but I'm still scaling up heals. Likely be a DPS / support. Yeah, as a wand staff, I mean, healers tend to get feuded. So people will probably be looking to assassinate bow wands more than staff wand, but a lot of people will just feud anyone with a wand when they're doing a war. So you might get feuded. Bow staff gets feuded a lot just because it's squishy and it's a big contender in large scale. Lots of trees and no herbs. Who's got the herb rotation? Maybe if we go to like a more open area, we'll see herbs. I gotta step up my... Oh, here's some herbs. Or some mushrooms. I guess that's 2 different things, huh? Mushrooms and herbs. I think that's 2 different gathering nodes. As you can tell, I have not done a lot of gathering. I'm hella targeted as wand staff? Yeah. I think wand anything is going to be the top prio for assassins, followed by bow staff, followed by bow dagger and staff dagger. And Expo Dagger. Expo Dagger is going to get feuded a lot too, because people will want to see the bomb. I don't know if anyone will actually bother to feud Staff Dagger or Bow Dagger. I know I don't. But I definitely feud Wand users, Dagger Crossbow, and Staff Bow. Go where the burbs are. Is that where all the plants are at? Found a note. Oh, found a globe. Wait. Oh, no possible way of getting up there. Using transfer tab, swap mastery over. No. Mastery is just something you level up. It's not tied to your gear. Is it down? Oh, it's down. Rolled with Dagger Wand. Not sure I see a future with it. I think it's really good, but I haven't played it enough to advise. I've seen it do some nasty things, though. Do you ever get bored of doing the same few dungeons and contracts every day? No. I like the feeling of progression, and this game has really good progression, so... plus, the T1 dungeons aren't, like, totally trivial yet. We're not just, like, mindlessly rolling them. You have to actually pay attention and do the mechanics. I got bored of them in KR, but that's because they were, like, totally trivial in KR. But then we just did T2s, and the T2s are so good. I don't think I ever got bored of the T2s. The T2s are just really well made. Contracts, yes. Contracts are boring. I hope they get reworked. Do you have a build guide for Greatsword Dagger? No. I suggest that you check out Revik's guide, R-E-V-I-K, on YouTube, or go to Maxroll. Maxroll also has a really good written guide if that's your thing. But if you want a video, search Revik Greatsword Dagger on YouTube. There's another very popular YouTuber who I won't name, but I will call out his cringe behavior. And if you see this, please don't encourage it. But there's a very large YouTuber that I saw earlier today post a Greatsword Dagger guide, and it is literally just him plagiarizing the Maxroll guide and not saying it, but he like literally has the Maxroll guide on his screen when he's telling you what gear to get, which I find to be highly fucking unethical. So if you see that kind of behavior, then I would suggest finding a different video. Dagger wand engages are so strong for group PvP. They really are, yeah. And that might be the thing. It might just be that playing solo it doesn't feel good. But definitely in groups you can do some crazy things. That's whack? Yeah. It's somebody with like hundreds of thousands of subs too. It's like, okay, dude, we see how you got there. At least say it, right? At least be like, yeah, I'm following the guide from Maxroll, and then like you can show it or whatever, and it's kind of like, at least that's somewhat, at least you're giving them credit. But to just like go through the Maxroll build on your video without even crediting it, like, all right, buddy. Everyone in the comments is like, oh, this guide's so good. Yeah. They're not wrong. Does your character ever start sliding around when you're charging Deathblow or Guillotine? It does. Yeah, it does. Not super often, but every once in a while. Oh, bro, there's hella plants out here. Kind of hard to see, though. If I didn't have the minimap, I wouldn't see any of these. What's the PvE like in Endgame? Right now, PvE consists of world bosses, which I would say are kind of bad for the most part. I don't think they're the best content. I think that they need some help. You basically just zerg a boss and like ignore the mechanics. So that's not my favorite part of the game, but the dungeons are fine. Like the T1 dungeons that we have right now are fine. I think they're good enough for like entry-level dungeons. T2 dungeons are extremely fun and some of the best dungeons I've ever run, but we don't have those yet. And we probably won't have those for a month or two would be my guess. And then there's just good old-fashioned grinding. There's open world grinding. There's open world dungeon grinding, which is like really juiced up, but it's something you can only do a certain amount, and then you kind of like run out and you have to recharge it. But yeah, mainly those things: grinding, open world dungeons, field bosses, and instance dungeons. Fishing, does that count as PvE? Alright, boys, we're looking for a red circle on this big flat map. If I can't find it, that's going to be embarrassing. Can't stand 99.9% of content creators and 100% of influencers? What's the difference? Do you have to graduate from content creator to influencer? Okay, I got the "you're close" hint. Please tell me it's off the side of this cliff. That would be so based. Some of the locations for these mystic portals are hilarious. Okay, it's not too bad. We might even be able to get back up from that. Oh hey, purple note. Oh, how nice of them to put a hook there. That's very generous. Now we won't have to teleport. Getting T2 in November? Okay. I think that's perfect. Yeah. I think October would be too soon. I think December would be too late. I think November's perfect. Have they said if it's going to have T2 gear? Because I know they were talking about maybe giving us the content, but holding the gear back a little bit. Which I think would also be fine. It'd give free-to-players a chance to catch up. Aren't we all just influencers? You have influenced me with that question. Or have you? This song is such a bop. How is the music volume? I turned my mic up a little bit, so if I'm drowning out the music, let me know. BDO days were based. They were based a long time ago. Play a different set of weapons to disassociate from these scum. When I've seen no T2 gear to start. Okay. Yeah, I think that's fine. Probably even better. Do you get anything from smashing these eggs? I have the wrong build on. This is my dungeon build. I need to put on my open world build. It's got more zoomies. Music volume is low, but in a good way. Alright, we'll keep it where it is. All characters are useless except for Lucent farming. Useless. I mean, you get to play them. I think that's the point of the game, is to play it. What else would you want them to do besides be playable and farm Lucent? If you're looking for like a Lost Ark scenario where the whole game is doing the same dailies on 8 different characters, you definitely don't find that here. And I think we're all pretty happy about that. What should I level if I play Greatsword Shields? Level, like, in terms of stats, I would get 30 Perception first, and then probably 30 Strength second. They're playing music? Yeah, I guess it's too quiet. It's too bad, because this thing fucking slaps. What's the strongest melee weapon combination? Strongest for what? Like, the highest DPS is Greatsword Dagger. Highest, just unkillable, good at everything, tank / bruiser is SNS Greatsword. Arcade 2 thoughts? I didn't really like Arcade 1, which I guess makes me unusual or something. I don't know. I didn't really... A lot of people seem to really like that game. I never got into it. I played it for maybe a month or two at launch. But it just didn't really grab me. I did like stealing people's trees, but then I kind of just... I don't know. Kind of just didn't care after a while. I feel like the pay to win in that game was like really egregious. I think what it was I would fight people in the arena, and I would feel like I performed so well. Like I had like really min-maxed combos and stuff, and I would get people to like 80% health, and I would just be like, oh, okay, this person spent money, and there's nothing I can do. And then I think I just kind of stopped playing. I don't think I found the progression very satisfying. So, I don't know. Hopefully the second one's different. Visually, it looks good. What do you think can counter SNS wands? Counter, like, what do you mean by counter? Again, are we talking about like 1v1 situation? You're really not going to find yourself in 1v1s in this game hardly ever, so just keep that in mind. But as far as like countering them in like a GVG, the counter is another SNS wands. The way you counter a sleep bomb is that once your group gets sleep bombed, you sleep bomb the enemy before they can capitalize on the sleep bomb. That's the counter. You counter it by mirroring it. SNS wand counter is safe zone. Yeah, I mean, if you're like fighting one in an abyssal dungeon, the only way you can counter them is by like stunning them 80 times in a row. So I guess if you have a couple greatsword daggers and they like line up their CCs really well, that could counter it. I mean, you pretty much just have to prevent them from playing the game. Like, otherwise you just aren't gonna be able to kill them. You counter them by ignoring them and avoiding them and running away from them. I love the boat content. The grind overall was boring and pay to win was a disaster. Yeah, I don't think I did a lot of boat content. Maybe that's why I didn't like it. I love the boat content in Darkfall. That was my favorite boat content. That shit was crazy, dude. Can you dual wield staff? And will the offhand staff add anything? I think you still get the stats from it, but you'll be missing out on like skills and passives. But I mean, I guess the stats on the weapon itself, I think that still works. You can do that for Secret Dungeon. So these Gate of Infinity leaderboards are based on your weapon combo. And so you can do like staff as your weapon combo. And you'll only compete against other people who are staff. So if you want to... That's some secret tech for you guys there. If you want to... If you want to try to place on Gate of Infinity, that's... Secret Dungeon secret. Stunlock is really the only way I die right now with an SS wand. Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of, is just lots of crowd control. Honestly, I kind of blame Arcade in a lot of ways for the subpar leveling in Korean games ever since. Because I think the leveling in Arcade was so bad that it really taught Korean devs that players don't like leveling and that they want the leveling to be over quickly. And I don't think they ever realized that that's because arcade leveling just sucked ass and not because leveling as a concept is boring. Because there's tons of MMOs that have really enjoyable leveling. And actually making it longer is better, not making it shorter, because the longer it is, the more invested you get and the more meaningful your upgrades feel. The best leveling experiences I ever had were like 250 to 300 hours long. Any game I've played where you level in 10 hours or 20 hours or 5 hours, it's been trash. All 20 of those hours were trash, and I hated them, and they were just something I slogged through because I had no choice. And I feel like Arcade had a big part to play in teaching Korean devs the wrong way to make an early game. Another game I can now play because I know Moreland's going to figure everything out about it first. Hell yeah, that's right. Classic WoW EQ, my favorites of all time. Yeah, I mean, to this day, like, you can go back and roll up a character on 2005 WoW and have fun leveling. And you might not even get to 60. You might get to, like, 38 and then be like, I'm going to make an alt. And then you'll have fun again. And EQ is the same way, right? Like, could you imagine making an alt in a Korean game for fun because you wanted to level again? Classic WoW's great. New World, I just wished it was perpetual leveling. Yeah, New World was the same way. Like, even those stupid town boards, like, just being in the world and doing stuff and chopping trees felt really good. Like, I didn't care about being max level except for PvP. Once we did get to max level, it was kind of like boring all of a sudden because now I'm gathering and I'm getting all this XP, but it's like not going anywhere. And it's like, eh. Then they kind of tried to fix that by adding the whatever, like, prestige system they added that goes beyond 200 crafting, but I think it was just too late at that point. The game was already too far gone. We don't want to be here. We want to go back across the river. Not seeing any herbs over here. Any events coming up? Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. 5 minutes. And we will do another Requiem, I guess. I don't know why this server doesn't have Dominion events. Is it because of the low population? Like, I haven't seen a Dominion event in like 48 hours. Did they like break them with the maintenance? Are you guys getting Dominion events on your servers? So fun running around in a living world, PvP skirmishes and leveling. In New World? Yeah, dude, I remember being like level like 30 and fighting over the ore nodes in Everfall. And it was so good. They just never understood what they had with that game. A lot of different routes to take to quest-wise to get max level in WoW. I mean, there's like 2. Depending on your level range. Maybe 3 zones that you can be in that game. It's not like a huge variety. I think it's fun to just do it all over again with a different class. Like, I always pretty much take the same exact route when I level in Classic WoW. But it's just fun because it's well made, you know? Like, I don't even need it to change that much. Stop hitting on wands. It's a lot of effort. I spent 5 hours trying to farm a blue wand drop. I had to litho one in the end to keep my sanity. Oh, I don't know if we're hating on wands. Wand's pretty good. Do you have a chance to look at Arcade 2? I saw a trailer for it a while ago. I don't know. Did they release some new stuff? Is that what you guys are asking about? New video recently, and it's been renamed. I was wondering if that was a rename. It's like Arcade something now. It's not called Arcade 2 anymore. I couldn't tell if it was a new product or just a rename of Arcade 2. Any idea what's the difference between defense and endurance evasion? Yeah, defense is just like overall damage reduction. It'll reduce all incoming damage by a percentage. Endurance reduces your enemy's chance to crit. And evasion reduces your enemy's chance to land a hit at all. So evasion will just completely dodge. Endurance reduces enemies crit, which is kind of like defense. I mean, they essentially both make you take less damage. It's just mechanically different. Usually, you're going to get defense just from leveling your gear. You won't find a ton of other places to get more defense. If you're a tank, you might get some from food. And there's a few select pieces that will have defense as like a top line stat, but it's not that common. Usually you're building either endurance or evasion. You're picking one or the other, and you're getting the majority of that from the traits on your armor. And then you're getting some of it from the top line stats as well. Trailer got me. I watched the trailer. I think it looked good. I don't know if there was any like real gameplay reveal in it though. Was there? Like, is there anything to really comment on as far as what the game is going to be like? It looks nice. It looks like it'll be fun to run around and hit things. That's where you want to start. So. I'm going to tell the Russian bots not to attack the goblins. Why does it take 20 to 30 minutes to start a dungeon? Been waiting 25 minutes for Cave of Destruction. I don't know. Cave of Destruction queue should go pretty quick. Maybe too many people are struggling with it this early in the game. Are you on one of the regular servers or are you on an early server? If you're on a free-to-play server, probably just not enough of the population's gotten to that point yet. Along the lines when spellcasting is to hit a factor at all? Yes. Hit is super important for every build. You're going to need it for both PvE and PvP, and especially for PvP. Alright, let's go do Requiem, I guess. We'll do Talisman Delivery first. And then hop over to Requiem. Ow. Bro. I don't think the codex works for this lantern event. I think it's busted. Has anyone been able to complete it? Playing Greatsword Dagger, and I was wondering if it matters which purple to get first, Greatsword or the Dagger. The Greatsword. Most of your damage is going to be coming from the Greatsword. So I would probably get that one first. What's a better value, the Battle Pass or the Growth Pass? Just made my first 500 Lucent. Probably the Battle Pass. I don't know. I haven't really done a comparison. What a Balter. We can't be wasting time. How come everyone in fantasy games is British? Aren't we tired of British accents? Can we start getting like Icelandic or like Japanese high fantasy voice accents? Tired of Brits taking American jobs for act. No, they don't need to be American. I really don't need to listen to any more American voices. Japanese voice actors are cracked though, dude. The British people aren't real. It's a fantasy game for a reason. They're British due to Lord of the Rings popularizing fantasy. What's the first fantasy story? King Arthur? Beowulf? Bro, we need some, like, proto-German Beowulf voice actors. That would sound high fantasy. Okay, I'm just waiting. How's the PvP in this game so far? It's solid. I mean, the stakes aren't always very high, but you can, like, take over world bosses and hoard all the loot. It's pretty fun. There's also 70v70 GVGs where you're fighting over either like a stat bonus or you're fighting over the right to have like your own private boss run. Those are really cool. We won't have Siege until after the first month, but the Sieges are very sick. You're fighting over like all the auction taxes, all the money from the economy, and those are fucking crazy. Like 1,000 people show up. I'll be right back. I think my biggest gripe with the PvP in this game right now is the targeting. Top 3 in this event gets a sick glider. Yeah, I don't think I'm ever getting top 3s in Melee. Unfortunately. Certainly would be nice, but maybe in a guild version where we can like just body everyone. Dante probably predates Beowulf. It's not really like high fantasy though. Dante doesn't have like dragons and wizards and shit, you know? It's just fiction. We've had fiction since the beginning of written history, but I mean like elves and orcs, and I guess Tolkien probably did start a lot of that, huh? Did Tolkien invent orcs? Two questions to TL. Are your characters bound to a specific server? Can you swap servers like BDO? You can swap for free at the moment. I think in the future you'll have to pay money. Right now you can swap servers. Well, if you're asking like channels, no, this does not have the BDO channel system. There are dedicated servers and your character's attached to that server. And you can swap, but your swap is permanent. Except that you can do it again twice a day. But it's not like BDO's channel system where you can like fluidly go back and forth. You have to like leave your guild and then permanently exist on the other server until you transfer again. How do I kill a level 40 vampire? Where can I find him? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that means. Like for the quest, you probably got to just go back into the instance that you were just in. I don't know what you mean by level 40 vampire. ChatGPT pointed out Gilgamesh, which says Tolkien really started the elves and orcs things. Gilgamesh. Did Gilgamesh have dragons? I don't know if I ever read Gilgamesh. Nibelungen, a German myth, Siegfried fighting a dragon. Yeah, there we go. That's kind of like the earliest version, right? And then there's lots of, like, stories about elves, but it's like, you know, it's like Keebler elves or, like, demon elves. It's, like, not the Tolkien elves that we see in modern fantasy games. Dante had hellhounds and shit, though, didn't he? I don't know. Did he? Jix with the T3. My goodness.
You enjoying T&D? How's it hanging?
T&D? Throwing in Dibberty? That sounds better, actually. Welcome back, Jix. 86 months. Yeah, dude. I think the game's solid. Have you tried it yet? We server transfer to play with your friends and transfer back. Do you leave your guild automatically? No, you've got to leave your guild before you transfer. It won't let you transfer until you do. Are we sending 4 this time? These people are not following the rules. We all agreed that we would start with 2. I think. I don't know where we agreed it, but that's just what happens. Alright, we gotta run all the way over to 4. Oh, man. I don't have time for this. There is a Humbaba in Gilgamesh, which is a monstrous guardian with dragon-like features. Well, I mean, all monsters have dragon-like features. Right? All of them are going to have wings or scales or something. Some sort of reptilian. Alright. We tagged 4. Hopefully that one gets sent. Because we are going to leave this event. And never come back. Although, we will come back in 3 hours. Oh, I got milk. Just started, I'm going Great Sword and Shield. How does it rank as you come endgame? Very solid. Very, very good builds. One of the best. I think you'll enjoy it. Haven't tried, but it looks interesting. Alright. Oh, hey, I got the morph. Yo, that's crazy. I wasn't even... Yo, this server is dead AF. Okay. I actually don't ever have to come back here again. Well, that's not true. I still want to do the codex at some point. But... not today. Let's go help with the Requiem. Dude, is it a cool morph? Emperor Eagle? Oh my god, I didn't know it was this sick. Let's go. Alright. For the rest of the stream, everyone has to refer to me as Emperor Moreland or else you're banned. Emperor Eagle Gang? You got one too, kid? Everyone just leaves chat. Okay, so this event is a very lazy event. Hubert Cumberdale? I'm gonna join his group just because of that name. I don't think grouping actually benefits anything for this event. In fact, it might harm you if you're grouped with slow people, but we'll group. It doesn't matter that much. This is a co-op event, so we're not actually competing against other people. I don't even think there's a ranking. There's a collective ranking right here, so we want this tier to go up so that everyone gets more rewards. But as long as we show up and do something, we will get this special resistance medal. which is, I don't even know where to show that. How do we show it? There we go. This guy right here. Very valuable. 40 of these equals free purple gear. So you just show up and literally like kill one mob and turn in and you get credit. So I think you have to stay to the end, but you could show up when there's like 5 minutes left if you want to be lazy and you'll still get the medal. Cool stuff to find. Anything long-term to work for? Kind of, Jix. It depends on how much you swipe. If you're not paying to win, there's some long-term stuff to work for. If you're swiping, you'll probably max out pretty fast. The biggest like chase item in the game are arc boss weapons, and those only drop from the server-wide bosses where like 1,000 people show up to compete. So usually it's top guilds that are controlling those, but there's PvE versions too, so you could just get super lucky. You can't really like chase them on your own though. You pretty much have to chase them with a guild. But there's lots of like intermediate gear to chase after. I'm certainly nowhere close to having all my gear. And probably won't be because I don't intend to spend a lot of... What weapon combo is this? Greatsword Dagger. What's the strat for the Talisman event? You just do the first turn in and then bounce. Because every one of the... What's it called? Every one of the turn-ins, for lack of a better word, is like a mini event. So if you just do one and then wait for it to get sent off, then you get credit and then you can go do something else. You might even be able to do like all of them. I don't know. If you want to get really sweaty, you might be able to do all 4 talisman turn-ins and then show up to Requiem when there's like 60 seconds left and sneak in a turn-in. You might be able to do that. Small F? Ooh. Rip. Is YouTube okay? Yo, how come Twitch has to kill my stream every time I start climbing the directory? Remember when this happened to me in the BDO days when I was like first streaming? YouTube good? Okay, YouTube looks good. 70 people on YouTube. What up, everybody? The algorithm finally likes me again. Used to have so many internet problems. Well, when I was first streaming, I wasn't partnered, and Twitch would give you like worse codec if you weren't partnered until you had 100 viewers. And then at 100 viewers, it would switch codec, but when it switched codec, it would drop your stream for a second. And so I'd get to 100 viewers, and then my stream would die, and I'd lose like 30 viewers. And then I'd have to like build back up again, and then it would die again, and it would just like, holy shit, Twitch. Why are you doing this to me? I'm trying to grow. We back? Alright, well. Yeah, Twitch just cut my viewers in half again, but oh well. There's so many people streaming this game, it really helps to be higher on the count. Remember working night shift listening to you play BDO to stay sane? Dude, I used to stream BDO till like 4 in the morning and then wake up at like noon. Those were different times. I wasn't even drinking caffeine back then. Just natural insomniac. Almost dropped out of uni because of you. Glad I could make a difference. He said almost. Can I give monies on YouTube instead? Bezos don't deserve it. Yeah, so there's a thing on YouTube called memberships, and I don't think I fully activated it yet, but it's pretty much set up. If you want to sub over there instead, I might actually just be able to do it real quick. You don't really get anything from it, but I guess you don't really get anything from being a Twitch sub either. Well, as a Twitch sub, you skip ads. And you get all of our cute emotes. I put some emotes on YouTube, but I don't know if people care as much. I didn't honestly realize so many people were going to be watching on YouTube, or else I would have done this already. Let me see if I can just do it real quick. I might have to do it off stream, though. I don't know YouTube's interface at all. Where do I go? It's got to be under YouTube Studio. Monetization? Earn. Memberships. I have to post a welcome to new members. Create some members only posts giving a warm welcome to your biggest fans. Posting regular from your channel's community tab is a great way to keep members coming back month after month. Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I'm probably not going to do that. That's what Discord is for. But maybe we'll post some things on YouTube every once in a while. I'm going to post videos, obviously, but I don't know if I'm going to be posting messages. Create posts. Oh, this is the whole process. I can put an image. All right, I'm gonna do this some other time. Yeah, I'll get it set up on YouTube. Later. On YouTube, you get emotes, and then you can do members-only streams. I don't think I'll do members-only streams. I probably will do early releases for members. So like when a new video comes out, it'll come out like a day or two early for members. But I don't know. Like at the end of the day, if people want to give me money, then please give me money. And if you don't, then I don't really care. You can still just watch everything. I'm not really going to try to paywall stuff. So we'll see how well that works. Done with my contracts for now. Should I farm the ant dungeon with the gear that for the gear that I want? Yeah, I think farming ant dungeon is a really good use of your time right now. Especially if you don't have a group for dimensional dungeons, because pugging those can be kind of rough right now. 15 to 30 minutes to join Cave of Destruction. Yeah. That's probably, that doesn't sound fun. I'm always doing them with my static group. Like, at most, we only have to pug, like, one slot, so. Paywall the market guide? That I could actually do, yeah. Can I do this one? Okay. Alright. I did my parts. Now we just hang out for 3 minutes. It doesn't really look like we're pushing to tier 2. So there's boonstones in 30 minutes, but I don't think we can do them. Because we just swapped and our guild isn't leveled up. Yeah. We gotta get to level 10. I don't think that's gonna happen in the next 30 minutes. And the declaration period's probably already over anyways. You have to create a thumbnail stream on YouTube. I never do. I probably could. But no, I think it just picks. I think it just auto-generates one. Exclusivity deal for videos for a few days is a good idea. Not too intrusive and still get the content, but members get early access. Yeah. I don't know. I just don't really know what benefits to offer members. Like, I just make videos and post them. I don't know. I don't know. What else is there? Want me to snort some hot sauce? Ping me for dungeon DPS? Members get to see me snort hot sauce. Subscribe to Moreland TV today. You'll never graduate to influencer like this? I'll always just be a content creator. Alright, 59 seconds. I wonder if we should be like... There's 4 of these turn-ins. I feel like we should be all focusing on the same one, because I think it says fill the soulstone with light fragments, but you only have to do 2 of them. But there's 4. You probably have to fill all 4 to get to the last tier, though. I don't really know. Contaminated debris. Okay, I'm picking up heavy rocks and throwing them in the ground, or placing them gently. Hell yeah. I helped. Okay, I got more debris. Alright, it's over. Final tier 1, kind of cringe. Looks like you do get a lot more activity for helping, so that's an incentive to just not show up in the last 30 seconds. Because I only got like 3 activity last time I did this. Because I didn't help. Content you create is always top tier. Almost always. As a new TL player, your streams are info gold mines. I'm going to have VODs on whenever I'm playing now. Yeah, and there's VODs. I think the VODs on YouTube are kind of nice. Like, that's one of the reasons I started restreaming. Twitch VODs is like, I don't know, they kind of just disappear into the void. But like YouTube VODs, I just think it's a better video player and like a better layout. It's really accessible. So people can use whichever one they want. Okay. Back to fishing. No, what were we doing? Back to herb gathering. I kind of want to do some fishing. Oh, my inventory's full. Let's go fix that. YouTube VODs, way better. No scrub bar on Twitch stream in 2024 is crazy. I haven't checked Discord at all today. Let me make sure my guild is not like doing something that I need to know about. Reworking Discord roles over the next hour or so. Emerald has been completely reworked from the top down and will be under new leadership. Uh-oh. Somebody got kicked. Or maybe just left on their own. For Carnix, guys, be ready for a big fight at the next world boss. Wow, must be nice. Doors open in 1 minute. Come to Cilius. Oh, they're talking about Cornelius. Okay, yeah. Just world bosses. Looks like not a lot else going on today. Chill farm day. I think tomorrow or Sunday, we're gonna have some big fights. I don't think we got anything today. Noob Trap video explained trades better than any video. I could not even find a trade video. I know Canon posted one that does a decent job. You could check that out. There are definitely a lot of like... there's a lot of bad content for this game. But yeah, I tried Canon's trade guide. I'm gonna post one. I don't know. There's already like 100 of them posted, so I didn't know if it was gonna get any momentum or not. Getting that salt. Who's excited for the Amatoy Expedition Guide video? Learn where to send all your stuffed animals. Spoiler, it's salt. You send them to get salt. That's the answer. Okay, do we do more herb gathering, or do we... I don't even know how much stuff I gathered. Let's go check. I think we might do some fishing. We're currently on project max out cooking. Made a bunch of steak, made a bunch of custard. I'm getting herbs so that I could make something. Who knows? Oh yeah, we needed mushies for this chicken, which I apparently still have like none of. Did I gather the wrong mushrooms? I think you can sub them out. Cookies. Limited by rye. I think we can go farm these in the grass beetle area, right? Yeah, level 3 violent harvester. We could go help the guild contract and get some rye. So we need fish and herbs for this one. It's not a food that I would make, but decent for XP. Nah, I think we just stick with the plan. Level up to 8 and crank out a bunch of milk. So, yeah, vegetable stir fry. Okay, this is... Is there a better version of this? I think we might actually use this all the way into Endgame since it has its own category. I think we might use that 300 health all the way into Endgame. After milk, that'll get us to level 9 at least. Probably skip level 9. Oh, never mind. There's a better Solent. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, so crab meat pie. So we need to fish up some crabs. Where do we get these? Daybreak Shore? Wait, can I not fish this up? Do I have to actually grind sea crabs? That could be a disaster. Alright, we might be doing some daybreak grinding. Abyssal contract token efficiency is kind of a crazy stat. Bonus damage we'll never use. Not on this build. Oh, I can upgrade the cookies? Okay, word. Alright. Maybe I'll make a cooking guide. I feel like I'm learning a lot here. Mastery bonus, abyssal nah, I think you always go with Solent. Mastery bonus is nice, but you're gonna max out on it in the long run. Alright, at least we got some Solent food, though. Let's check the cooking market. Maybe things are worth a lot, and then I can motivate myself to cook more. Was there in Korea some kind of DPS meter? No. No DPS meter. It has to be raining to get the crab. And you can only get them from killing crabs? You can't fish them? No crab fishing? Yo, some of these foods are 50 lucent a pop? Okay. How about the crappy ones? I'm not making a lot of blue food yet. I need to get my cooking up. Oh, look at that. The blue steamed bird egg. 35 each. Damn. Okay. Do I have any stacks that are big enough to sell? I've got 3 quality rye bread. Lowest currently available is 10. Okay. Yeah, I'll sell this for 29 for a stack of 3. See what happens. Don't sleep on fishing, boys. Oh, that's actually good. We might be able to sell that. That one we don't sell. Sell the same item. I hate how the litho book lights up the same item in red multiple times. I think that sells. I probably should have checked, but... $74, okay. Yep, guess I was right. What the... For real? Someone's gonna pay 70 lucent for that? Take my gear. This is a seller's market. Almost all the food shit requires it to be raining. I have a question. I hit 50 and got the chest with the dimensional soul shards. Basically, my question is, what do I do with that? Save it. You will use it for something called dimensional essence. So when you do dimensional dungeons, there's 6 different dungeons. They each drop a soul shard for that dungeon. So Cave of Destruction will drop the Cave of Destruction shard, which is Laquarius. If you get 80 of these, you get, I think, 4 per run. So if you do 20 runs of Cave of Destruction, which is going to take a while, because you only can do 3 a day, then you can buy one of these chests, which is really good. Braces of the Primal King. You could do a different dungeon and focus on a different box if it's got something that you really, really want. But more importantly, you can look at this Precious Epic Accessory Selection Chest. This one requires a Dimensional Essence, which is 10 of all the coins. So this means you need to run all the different dungeons. But since you got those chests, you can use those chests to get the shards from dungeons you don't want to run. So they're kind of like your filler. They're going to close up your gaps when you're trying to get 10 of each. You can also get 2 of these and force your purple weapon to drop from dungeons over at the weapon guy. There's some armor you can force at the armor guy. So yeah, lots of stuff to use those on. Lots of really important stuff to use those on. So just hang on to them until you know for sure what you want to do. I'll sleep on fishing because that shit sucks? How dare you? I don't actually know a lot about fishing yet. Like, do we know if fishing in different areas matters? I heard it was just like freshwater and saltwater. Is that a thing? Does the game tell you anywhere? Is Arena equalized? No, not right now. They have discussed doing an equalized version. but nothing like that has been implemented. Help. Select a target. There we go. That's my target. Just vibing. Damn. I need a better rod. Oh. No, we're still in there. We got it. We got it. Easy. Belfret base. $63 centimeters. Usually found in lakes and rivers. Okay. So I think freshwater and seawater are different pools. Did it just tell me I missed? Excuse me? Oh, you know what? It's because I pressed Q instead of... I forgot that I rebound it. What do you guys think this is? This is a bag for sure. Largemouth base? Target the salmon. 180 centimeters. Lays around 6,000 eggs. Lives in freshwater. Size medium. 180 centimeters. Medium. Just a medium 6-foot tall fish. Was worth buying the blessing pouches at the contract point merchants. Eventually, I wouldn't do it early game. You talking about the precious pouch? I would buy mystic keys and fishing baits, and then I would work on cleaning out the weekly stock of trade extraction stones and enchanted ink. And then once you feel like you can do all that and you still have coins left over, you can go for the precious pouches. But you're probably going to need to run some blue contracts before that is possible, or you're going to need to, I don't know, you probably just need to have played the game for a week or two before you like have enough contract coins. I'm so used to pressing Q on KR. So if you have like a bunch of blue like Shadow Crypt contracts sitting in your inventory that you haven't run yet, you can go run those, and then you can probably afford to buy it. But if you haven't done anything like that yet, you probably can't afford it. It'll get a lot easier once the rest of the milestones unlock. So once Sanctum and Saradoma and Cilius 5-6, once those are all open, you'll be able to run all kinds of blue contracts, and you'll have a lot more coins. At that point, then go crazy. You can buy the pouch every day. But early game, you probably need to hold off and focus on the other stuff because you'll run out of coins otherwise. You can transfer purple weapon 1-to-1. You can transfer the growth 1-to-1, but not the traits. If you've leveled up any traits, then those will be converted to blessing. Those will not carry over. This is kind of chill, except for the fact that I have to be looking at the screen for the snap up. I'm hoping to get the purple rod from Mystic Keys. I got it pretty early in Korea. I don't know how lucky I got. Are there like green and blue rods? I don't even know. I went straight from the bamboo rod to the purple one. Fishing needs controller vibration? Yeah, that's true. I need a way to like turn up the volume just on fishing. Large mouth. It's fucking actually huge when he picks it up. I love that it's like actually, I mean, I still don't think that's 6 feet tall, but it's actually huge. There a way to change trait on weapon? Let's say my weapon just dropped, the trait sucks. There were to change it? Yes, you change it using trait conversion stones. And there's 2 ways to do that. There's the RNG version, which costs a lot of stones. And then there's the selected version, which costs a little bit of stones and then the trait from another item. But it has to be the same exact duplicate item. So if you want to unlock a trait on Gloomguard gauntlets, then you need another Gloomguard gauntlets with that trait. It can't just be any item. It can't even just be any glove. Once the trait's unlocked, then you can use any item from that slot. So you can use any blue glove on your blue glove, but and you can use it on higher tiers too. You can use like blue on purple, it just has less of a chance. But yeah, to unlock or to re-roll, to swap a trait out, you need to use trait conversion stones, and then you can either gamble it or you can force it by using another item. Why does my gear score change when I swap builds? Skill books. Your skill level contributes to your gear score. How leveled up your skills are. Small sack. When I was in the ocean, I was getting big sacks. I wonder if ocean fishing is better. I mean, I'm using one bait either way, so. This spot does seem easier than the ocean. I don't know if that's because my fishing leveled up. But I don't think I've failed yet today. Skills I have on the bar. I don't know. I'm guessing it. Maybe it only counts the ones on your bar towards your combat power to avoid people from just leveling up unused skills and getting a combat power bonus from it. Have I gotten any bluefish? I don't think so. I might have some in storage. I've gotten some green fish. I don't think I've gotten any bluefish. I haven't done much fishing though. I'm still a fishing noob. It's so large. That's hilarious. That might be 6 feet tall. Like if you were to flip that thing upside down. Fish to the pond in Pure Light Tower and I got a blue and 5 grains. Yeah, I'm wondering about that. I wonder if Grim knows. I'm gonna message him. I clicked on the little activity thing to message him, and it like DM'd him his Spotify song that he's playing in my message. And it won't let me edit it out. Okay, well, I guess that's part of our conversation now. Grim told me it's fresh or salt fishing and nothing else matters. Does he prefer one to the other, Zale? A lot of these fish just seem interchangeable, so I don't know if maybe some recipes call for fresh fish and some call for salt fish. What's the fishing like? Is it similar to BDO? Very different? It's pretty different. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple. It's like pretty straightforward. You cast the float. When it pops, you do a snap up to remove one of the bars. So you can see those red bars on the left. And as long as I keep the fish kind of in the middle, I don't want to let it go too far to the left or the right. As long as I keep it in the middle there, then I win. If it goes too far to the side, then I lose. And if you run out of stamina, then reeling doesn't do anything. So you got to balance the stamina bar. You can't just like hold the button down. So if I just let it go all the way, now I'm not doing anything. And it's just RNG bouncing. And I'm just getting lucky. But also I'm not making progress. I need to have stamina so that when I reel, the bar goes down. If I just hold it down like that, then I might fail this one. Okay, yeah, we got it. But yeah, if you just like hold the button down, your stamina will drain and you won't win. So you have to kind of like reel it in for a second and then wait and reel it in for a second. But it's not terribly complicated. So there we snap up, we get that bar, and then he's going hard to the right, so we bring him left. Keep bringing him left. Now he's going a little too far left. We bring him back, and we win. What can be done with the fish if you catch it? I think the only use for fish right now is in cooking. But cooking is pretty damn strong. You can make some very high-impact food. Food that increases your combat stats. Food that increases the solent that you gain while grinding. There's food that increases your abyssal token efficiency, so that means when you're grinding in the open world dungeons, you can stay there longer and get more loot if you have the food buff activated. There's food that makes you get more fishing XP. There's food that makes you get more cooking XP. I should have the fishing food on right now. I think I forgot to use it. I wasn't planning on doing this for very long though. I was just going to do it for a few minutes. Oh! Oh! Like his little dramatic voiceover. Oh! Oh! Oh, I'm catching a 6-foot tall fish! Oh! Alright, last one. This is pretty chill, though. It'll be interesting to see. I kind of just wanted to do this for a little bit and then go back to the cooking thing and see like how much I actually got, like how much I can actually make from 10 minutes of fishing. So let's go do that. You salvage the fish for fillets? Nah, you just toss the whole fish into the cooking oven. Just all 6 feet of it. This oven right here, you just straight up 180 centimeter fish, just head first into that thing. Okay, so if we look at a recipe that requires fish, probably has fish in the name. This, I didn't get any of these, so I think these are all saltwater fish. Because I have a few of these in storage from last time, and last time I was fishing saltwater. So I think these are all saltwater fish. And oh, I guess I do have a bluefish. I definitely didn't just get it though, so I must have gotten. Yeah, this looks the same. This looks like it's all saltwater. So this is like a low-level recipe. There's 2 whitefish, 2 greenfish. For this one, there's 3 green fish and 2 blues. There's eel. I don't know how complex this gets. Let's look at some of the other ones. Fish steak. Okay, so These are both definitely freshwater. Oh, we could just mouse over them. It lives in fresh water. Okay. And it's said to blah, blah, blah. That'd be native to the Phone River and Belfort. I have no idea what that means. Is this like more specific than freshwater? Do I have to go to an exact river to catch this guy? That's kind of interesting. Okay, so that might be a thing. Let's look at the other. Let's go back. Lives in rocky areas and can change from female to male in some environments. Okay, I didn't know we were getting political. Aggressive and territorial, making a top predator. Lives in mainly in warm, clear waters. What does that mean? What, do we go south? Where's warm in this game? Do I have a thermometer? Do we fish near the desert? Okay, so it seems like some are just saltwater, some are just freshwater, and then other ones, it might actually be more specific than that. You might have to go to a particular zone. Pajama cardinal fish? Lives in freshwater. Okay. Imp. Found in lakes and rivers with relatively warm water temperatures. I can't tell how much of this is like a game mechanic and how much of it is just role-playing or like flavor. Blacktail snook. Mostly found in oceans and warmer climates. You have to spend Marins on this one. Boss damage bonus, hit chance, critical hit chance, duration 30 minutes. So this is like... Okay, your whole party can use this. Up to 6 players. So, pop this before challenge dungeons. And we need to make a barbecue platter. And a rare Querba omelets. Is that the one to go with? Probably. Yeah, there's an evasion platter. Is this also for 6 people? I don't know why you would ever want your whole group to have a defensive play. Unless they actually, if they stack the same way as the other, we might have to make all these. Let's see. These are both offensive. Hit, skill damage, TC. Okay, so this one for PvE. This one would be better for PvP. I bet you there's a PvP specific one, though, that would be even more betterer. Nope. Boss chance, wildkin. Boss hits, humanoid, there it is. Vienta Banquet, 100 PvP hit, 100 PvP crit. It's like not that much better than isn't the other one 90? This kind of sucks. I feel like you would just go with the heavy attack food. More boss plus demon. So I guess there's like dungeon specific ones here. I finally know what that Reaper's Soul is used for. And then 120 evasion, 120 endurance. That's kind of pog. Level 21s. Okay, cool. Are you gated on bait in this game? Yes. You need to buy your fishing bait out every day with contract coins. Or, this is new. This wasn't in Korea, but you can buy them with ornate coins. And you can buy a shitload with ornate coins. You can buy 5,000 bait if you wanted to go ham. So that's way different than KR, and KR was actually kind of hard to get fishing bait because it was really just from the contract coin guy, which was only 20 a day. But there's 5,000 right here if you want to spend your ornate coins on it. So I guess it depends on how crazy you're going to go with fishing. I hate all this random gated bullshit. You want to just be able to fish all day? It's just a resource you have to spend. All right, boys. I cannot stay on late today. I am taking off. Twitch keeps resetting my fucking stream every 30 minutes anyways, so I can't climb the directory. But shout out to all the YouTube viewers. We had a bunch of people watching on YouTube today. And I hope you guys had fun. I will be back tomorrow. I will probably be posting another video tomorrow if I can get it done. So keep an eye out for that in the morning. And then we will be streaming again. And I will see you guys then. So I appreciate everyone for watching. We are going to raid somebody on Twitch. And let's see who we know that's streaming. There's so many people streaming this game. All right, let's go raid. I haven't seen this guy in ages. Let's go raid Fake Uni. And I will catch you guys tomorrow. Have a good night, everybody.